Yeah, I mean, I saw you were on
Are we recording now?
mhm,
Yeah.
we've been recording the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is such a frequently asked question. I swear to God.
Ah,
Every time someone comes on, they ask, "Are we recording?" Because I don't do like formal introductions or whatnot. It's just whenever we're talking, we're talking. Um, but yeah, I saw you were on a female podcast, weren't you? Like a female
turn
expertise.
on podcast.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed interesting. Then you were on a Polish podcast. Then you were on someone else's podcast. You've been like on a few podcasts, yeah.
Yeah. So the first one was the Australian podcast here, Turn On.
Mm.
It was about femininity and coming to Australia. And Polish podcast was again about coming to Australia. The book, it's called Australian Dream. So
Yeah.
Polish people living in Australia.
Okay.
And then I had again Polish podcast in Poland, done by quite famous journalist, and he deals with addiction.
Okay.
So
What kind of addiction?
he deals with also, he talks to people from all sorts of addictions.
Okay.
He's an alcoholic, and I walked in as a food addict.
He's an alcoholic.
He's an I mean, not drinking at the moment, but
Okay.
like, I know with addiction people don't really say I was an alcoholic. They
Yeah,
consider themselves that they still in addiction, even though
Even if they stopped?
even if they stop, because they can't ever really have another drink.
But they would label themselves as I'm still an alcoholic.
Mm.
Oh, that's weird. So not an ex-alcoholic.
Oh, I'm not sure how they would label themselves, but from what I've heard, usually people say I am
An alcoholic.
alcoholic. But
Oh.
yeah,
But that means that this label is gonna follow you your whole life. It doesn't make sense.
because
like if you quit, if you really quit, you're just an ex-alcoholic. You're not an alcoholic anymore. You used to be. Now you're
so I'm
not.
not sure. I'm not 100% sure if they would say I'm ex-alcoholic or.
Gotta get an alcoholic on this podcast to ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a good
That's
question.
strange. I drink, but I wouldn't consider myself. I think someone told me the other day what qualifies for an alcoholic. Milad, he was on the podcast too. He said 5 drinks per week. If you average 5 drinks per week, you are considered an alcoholic. And it could be like, 5 drinks a day. It could be split out all across the whole thing. So 5 drinks, you're an alcoholic.
Could be this way.
So go down 1 drink. Make it fun.
Just go down one drink and I'm.
Go down 1 drink. All right. At the start, we do something really funny. Actually, I'll tell you. Pick a number between 1 to 10.
8.
Why 8?
That's my number.
Is it? Why?
You know numerology. I'm not really big expert on it, but
Okay.
when they add day with month and with the year, that's your number. That's your numerology number.
What day? What do you mean? Day, what month?
Date of birth.
Okay. So you add your year.
So you add your day and month and a year, and at the end you have one number.
Like all of them together, you mash them up.
Yeah.
Oh, so if you're born like 1
So
1.
I'm 22nd, right? So that's 4. Then it's 8. That's August, 22nd of August. So 12. So 12 actually is 3 because it's 1 plus 2.
Ah.
And then you add then plus 1, 19. Yeah.
Okay. I should probably do mine when I go back home.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I usually go with 7.
So yeah.
Okay, 8.
So what does it mean then?
What? 8?
Okay. So I've chosen 8.
You have chosen 8.
Yeah.
You get 8 seconds to introduce yourself to the camera right there. I don't know, it's a bit on the spot, but you gone with 8. So there you go. You got the camera, you got 8 seconds.
But you
start.
said 1 from 1 to 10, so it's not.
You chose 8.
Yeah, not too
Yeah.
bad.
Not bad, yeah? Yeah, you got 8 seconds.
Okay. Tatiana, author, bioresonance practitioner, mother, wife, depends on the day.
With 5 seconds to spare.
Or passionate about life and practical philosophy.
Oh, yeah. Practical philosophy.
Yeah.
Is that why you would label this book?
Yeah, because I always, since I remember, or maybe like 15 years or so, 20. I started to dig into spirituality, but I never wanted to like go to the like retreat and be happy there, and you come home and then you're miserable again. So that's how I call it practical. What things I can actually take from those practices.
Yeah.
And because I'm quite busy, very practical in my life.
Okay.
I try to have my life as easy as possible, not too complicated, and quick, so with quick solutions. So I see what I can implement in my life, in my let's call it real life after. Okay. Because for the long time I didn't want to meditate, because I thought, oh, you feel great when you meditate, and then you feel terrible when you finish. Yeah.
Do you feel terrible when you finish?
No, not anymore. But that was my idea.
Okay. Do you know people that feel terrible when they finish meditating?
Not maybe straight when they finish, but how do you then translate this peace into your regular life from the meditation?
Well, I think it depends on the meditation.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, reading a book is also some form of meditation. So if you try something like yoga, for example, and yoga is pretty good, right? If you try it and if it doesn't work for you, if you feel like shit afterwards, maybe the yoga just isn't for you.
Yeah. Just can't imagine, why would you feel like shit after yoga?
Why would you feel like shit after yoga?
Yeah.
Some people are just not flexible.
In that sense, when they push, that's wrong yoga, because if you push yourself too much, that's maybe...
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know some people that look at yoga and go, from a mental state, they go, this is just bullshit. They're like big cynics, right? And if you try to convince them to do it, they're going to do it half-assed, and afterwards they're like, this didn't do much for me. So if you're not convinced in the head that this could help, you could try it, and it could be the best thing in the world, and it wouldn't work for you.
Oh, that's right. But wouldn't be this also with other stuff, if you're convinced it's not good for me? If you take Panadol and you're convinced that it's not going to work for you, it's not going to work.
That's me.
That's you? Does it work?
No. And not, with Panadol, the thing is, I'm allergic to it, so I can't have Panadol at all, right? But even if I try something like Nurofen, I can have Nurofen. I just don't like it. Like,
you know, it won't work.
It won't work. Mentally, it won't work. Psychologically, it won't work. Because I was like sick maybe three weeks ago, and I had like bad cough. And you know when you cough, you get like cough syrup. And cough syrup is literally just codeine.
Basically.
It's just drugs. And I knew when I was going to take this, it's not going to help. It's just drugs. It's not an antibiotic.
You should do the Polish way cough syrup.
What is the Polish way cough syrup?
It's onion. You cut the onion. You put sugar.
Okay.
Overnight, and then you drink it. And that's pure antibiotic.
What? Onion and sugar?
Well, sugar may be not so good for you, but then sugar makes, what my mom was doing and that's what I give my kids.
Okay.
It's very nice, actually. It brings the juice out of the onion.
So is it like a drink, or is it just
So it's like a syrup.
A syrup.
Yeah.
How do you prepare it?
You cut onion.
Okay.
Slice it.
Okay.
And then put sugar on top.
Okay.
Cover it.
Okay.
Leave it overnight. Not in the fridge, just outside. And in the morning, you have nice juice.
Really? So sugar just juices out onion?
Yes. And onion, it's a natural antibiotic. Here you go.
So it does make sense. Because like I read some people, I know some people online, they criticize onion all the time. But onion is actually good. It doesn't smell terrible for no reason.
No, and when you do like syrup like that, it doesn't smell at all. It's
really?
Actually, it's quite yum.
And you drink it?
You drink it.
Onion
like
and sugar?
Syrup.
I don't know.
Not like a cup. You just drink it like
okay, I'll
like
try
syrup.
it. I'll try it next time I get a cup.
Let me know. Like,
I'll let you know. Well, for me, it's different because like I do a different recipe. It's called a hot toddy. Have you ever heard about it?
No.
It's an old man drink. I know some people are gonna hate on me right now. It's an old, really old, grumpy old man drink. When you get ginger, lemon, sugar,
Ginger, lemon,
sugar, and you could use cinnamon or you could avoid cinnamon, up to you. Honey,
Yeah.
all right? You put them all in one mug and you put hot water
Yeah.
and a dash of whiskey.
Oh, that's the old man thing.
That's the old man thing. Yeah. It works. It works. But like you drink it before you go to sleep and then you wake up the next day like a dome fell on your head. But it works. Like 3 drinks, 3 nights, you're over it.
Yeah, so you don't need to go. Is it used by your family?
No.
No.
They don't drink.
It's just old.
Yeah. It's just me.
It's just you. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my dad once tried it because my dad is like curious, yeah?
Okay.
My dad is, I ask him, if I made a drink, Dad, do you want some? He goes, no. But if he sees me drinking and leave my drink on the table, he comes to take a sip. If I order food, Dad, do you want to eat? No. If I bring the food I'm eating, he comes, brings a fork and starts eating. Like, I told you, I asked you, right? So I made my drink, I made my hot toddy. It's disgusting, by the way. It's a disgusting drink because it's lemony, it's whiskey, it's ginger, it's honey. It's like a...
I would drink it without whiskey.
You would drink it, but that's like a secret ingredient because it's strong. The alcohol is strong. You need something that's at
I
least...
just don't like alcohol.
Really?
Mm.
Not big on alcohol? Not at all? Not even mimosas?
No, if you give me a glass of wine, I will drink it through the whole night.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not big?
No.
Yeah, each their own. I mean, we're not big on alcohol either, but that hot toddy has to be. Has to be. And so, like, I put it on the table, and the guy just came and drank it, and he was like, this is disgusting. Spit it in the sink. And I'm like,
Oh, good that he didn't spit it to the car. Then you would really hate him.
It's really horrible. Yeah, I mean, look, man, Dad, if you're watching this, please stop drinking my drinks. I'm sick, man.
We love you, Dad.
Yeah. I mean, he's poor with English, but he will get this one.
Okay.
He'll understand this one. Well, yeah.
Is he here?
Is he like in Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole family here?
I see him every day. 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. He makes breakfast.
Oh, so you live together?
We live together, yeah.
Okay.
For not for long, yeah. But we'll see. I'm not big on moving out, unless you have to.
Is it because it's comfortable, everything is done, and...
No, I actually hate that part.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because that's the reason usually people, let's say, guys don't move out.
Because it's comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
you
that's
have
just
your
wrong.
washing done,
Yeah.
food done.
Yeah.
And you hate this
I
part.
hate it. I'm against it.
How come?
Well, I like to do my own shit. Like, if I wake up in the morning...
Oh, wow, that's something different I hear for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Usually guys will be like, yeah, I have everything done, and that's...
Well, that's just bad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really...
Like, you're just becoming reliable. You're like a
Yeah.
big man baby. Like, how long is your mom gonna do your laundry, and how long is your mom gonna do your bed for you? Like, wake up. You're 18, 19, you know. People our age back then used to go and build bricks when they were 16, 17. Now we're complaining beds aren't being made for us.
Yeah.
No, it's terrible. But that's why I want to move out. My parents are on the other side. They're like, you have everything at home. Why you want to move out?
Oh,
Yeah.
they don't want you to move out.
They don't want me to go.
Ah.
Yes. Well, you know, Middle Easterns are different.
You guys really live together. You're really close, right? Overall.
That's why, like, have you heard of the whole eatable mother concept?
Eatable?
Eatable mother? Like
No.
the whole witch in the forest mother. Have you seen that? I don't know what they call it. You know, the 2 kids that get lost and they find a whole house made of
Oh,
chocolate?
we call them Yash and Małgosia.
Yash and Magosha?
Yeah.
Nice.
So Yash is the boy, Małgosia is the girl.
Is a girl. And they get lost in the forest and they find
and
this
they-
hut. And
she wants to make him fat.
yes,
right?
and she makes him fat and she wants to
Yeah.
eat him. That's essentially what's happening. Don't you see it?
Oh!
Yes.
Oh!
From a
So is it the... So that's actually a factual story then.
Yeah, I mean, they don't say the story for no reason, right? Like, it's a philosophical story. It's not literally a story. It's just that
What does this mean?
you,
About this way.
a mom can just grow to become that witch subconsciously, and she keeps feeding her kids, thinking she's doing the right thing, but at the end of the day, she's kind of having them for dinner.
Make sure you don't put your mom to the
To the what?
oven. Because you remember the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but No, with my mom, I kind of caught her
And
early.
we love your mom.
We love my mom, indeed.
Yeah.
I caught her early because, like, she used to do this thing with my brother. And my brother is, like, 27, right? And I told her, like, this guy, he wants to get married within, like, 2 years, 3 years. If he can't do his own food, if he can't do his own laundry, it's going to be a hassle for his wife.
So actually, for me as a mother,
Okay.
it doesn't matter if I have daughters, but it would be the same thing
What do you mean?
with my son. If I have,
If you have
I
a
had
son?
son,
No.
if I had a son, I look at life skills. I look at laundry, cooking, cleaning as life skills.
Okay.
Because I realize there are so many kids living house now. They can speak 3 languages, they can play piano, they can do all sorts of stuff. They can't cook their own meal.
Yes.
So 1 year, I actually said, okay, your after school activities are learning how to vacuum, how to do laundry, how to do this, how to do that. These are life skills.
Yeah.
And, my kid she's going to cook dinner today because I think we create often handicapped people. If I don't know if I can use the word handicapped.
Oh, you can. There's no limits on the words. Yeah.
These days are inappropriate.
Oh,
But
no. Yeah.
kids go out and they have all those amazing skills, but they can't do life.
Yeah.
So I thought as a mother, these are tools that I'm giving my kids.
100%. And they'll thank you for it, too, because...
Oh, she did. She hated me at the start, I think.
Why does she hate you? Because...
Oh, because other kids can play. But overall, she told me once, thanks, because I can do so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're at an advantage, too. Because, like, there's joy and achievement that comes out of doing these small little chores. It could be the smallest thing, like making your bed.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, he's got a whole thing about it. Yeah, like it could be the smallest thing as making your bed. Because like once you wake up in the morning, that's the first thing you gotta do. And if you don't do it, that's a loss, right? And if I got my mom to do it for me, well, she's just got rid of something that could give me that sense of achievement. So that's why I tell my mom whenever I see her going into my room, Ma, what are you doing? She's like, I'm just making the bed. No, Ma, get out of my room, Ma. So you gotta make it because it gives you that sense of achievement and it follows. It's like a ripple effect. One thing follows another thing. One thing follows another thing. You do your bed. You go make your food. Making your food leads you to go into the gym. The gym makes you feel good, right? And so on and so forth. And it leads to something bigger at work. When you have that confidence, you could do something good at work. When you can do something good at work, you can level up. You can move up. You know, it's a whole like chain. Everything is related to another. And this is what I think I read also right here in the book, something similar to it. But that was more about saying no at work. Because if you have the confidence, you can say no at work. You can say no to things that you can't really say no to without that confidence, without that chest up, you know, that situation where someone goes, hey, let's go out, and you have something important to do. If you don't have the confidence to say no, you're just going to go roll with it. And one thing follows another, and the next thing you know, you're like 5 days behind your deadline.
Yeah, and you don't deliver, and then you are in bigger trouble.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You asked me about the title, How to Get Out of the Fog. Do you really want me to give you the honest opinion?
I do.
Okay. Because you said not a lot of guys have gave you the review.
Yeah, I don't know why it happened that I mostly feel like I'm talking to women, but it just happened.
Maybe because it's a female on the cover?
Maybe.
And it's a pinky book. I'll go right. I'll show you the camera.
Is it pinky?
It's pinky. It's very pink. Is it? I'm colorblind. I don't know.
It's more red, I would say.
Really? No, not the girl. This right here. Is that pink or gray?
It's gray.
Gray? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm colorblind. I don't know.
No, so it's not pink. No, it's gray.
Not pink. All right. Well, I think the title is very interesting because a lot of people get that situation where they're really fogged up in the head, and you feel it, right? You feel unclarity. You feel like no matter what you're doing, You don't know if this is the right thing to do, if this is the wrong thing to do. This is why the title makes sense. What I would put, more like how to get your shit together. Right? So this would be the male version of the title.
I like that. That would be the
Yeah.
male part
Male
or
version.
the sequence.
Yeah. So just if you want, you can put my face right here for the male version. How to get your shit together. But yeah, males they're more aggressive. That's one way to talk to them. If you want to talk to males, their understanding patterns are different.
The reason I thought it's more for women, this book, and I really would love to hear your thoughts, because when I started to dig into the topic of self-discipline, I found lots of videos like go, 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 like really great masculine energy.
Okay.
And for years and years, I was 100% almost, apart from biological stuff and masculine energy, like me. And I exhausted myself totally. So I started to look from the point of self-care, self-love, a bit gentle perspective, but also in a self-discipline. So that's why I thought that this book, because it's more, I don't know if you see it this way. I saw it this way. It's more gentle. I thought it would speak more to women.
Okay.
But on the other hand, all the guys I meet are around me are not really those like.
Really?
No, they're not. Yeah. So now when I started thinking about that, maybe that's wrong the way I think and I look at this. I really would love to know your thoughts.
I think it differs from person to person.
Yeah.
Like I really think that when you need to talk to a guy and to spit sense into his face, you need to be to some sort aggressive with it. Because guys are less emotional than women. Yeah. It takes a lot more to hurt a guy than it does to hurt a woman. At least in my opinion. Women are more in touch with their emotions and more what's the word for it? It's emotional, but there's a different word. How would you put it? Fragile, would you say?
Yeah, fragile, intuitive as well.
Intuitive, yeah. Yeah. So females are like
we
that.
go with emotion, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for guys, it's different. Like some guys take a brick to, make them drop these walls. And so you gotta like give them a really strong message. You gotta be upfront. You gotta be loud. You gotta be straight to the point, straight to their face. With women, that might not work. But with that being said, we are getting to a point where people are recognizing more and more that it's okay to be in touch with your emotion, even as a guy. Correct? Like we were talking about just now, we brought up Jordan Peterson. He cries in his interviews. The man is like 63, 65. He sometimes he gets slammed for it by people. Oh, this guy's just whiny, right? But no, the guy is in touch with his emotion.
Absolutely.
He's emotional, and he's showing people that it's okay.
He said his wife is even more masculine than he.
There you go.
He has more masculine energy, and he has more feminine energy.
I actually see it. I've seen the way they interact with each other. He was here September, I think. His wife is so calm and collected. She's very quiet. She doesn't speak much, but when she speaks, she has weight to her words. It sounds heavy, like this woman is very quiet. She knows what she's talking about. But that could also be because she's been through a lot. She's a cancer survivor as well, she was diagnosed like last year or something. But yeah, I think men really need to like get more in touch with their emotions, but not to the point where they let it control them.
They need to get in touch with their emotions, but not to the point to control them. I like that, but I don't think women should be really controlled by their emotions as well. I don't like to use the word should, but...
Do you think they are? Do you think women are more controlled by their emotion?
Sometimes or often, maybe not often, between often and sometimes.
Okay, because I don't have sisters, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like the only woman I live with is my mom. You have daughters, obviously. So
And then
would
you
say,
have hormones and all sorts of things that are.
yeah.
I recently had a discussion with someone about that, because when I look at my husband, he seems quite apart. If maybe he has headache,
Okay.
but he's usually the same every day,
What do you mean?
like in the mood wise.
Mood wise?
Yeah.
He seems like he's got a headache.
But when he has his headache, then I know. Then this is where he goes down a bit with his mood. But generally, he's quite. I know what to expect.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he knows what to expect every single day from me. Once we had actually really funny conversation.
Okay.
He got to the room and he said, "Where do you want to go?" I said, "Maybe we'll go this way." "Oh no, actually we could do this." "Oh, maybe we could do," and he's like, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Like, just make up your mind. And I started laughing because I realized what's happening. And I say, "You see, you just go out, you leave the room, and I stay with this. I have to stay with this." And we started laughing. It was actually quite funny because we both recognized our different. He just, like you said, maybe not the break, but really straight to the point. "Okay, so what do you want to do?" "This." "Okay, bye." But no, like, I'm like, this way.
Men are more straight to the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with women.
But I appreciate it, and I like this part of masculinity.
Masculinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
I'm not that good with English either.
I like this part.
I think you need a good balance anyway. Like, it doesn't matter who's more straight to the point. In most cases, it is the men. But even if you have a more muscular woman, you need a little bit more feminine man. Because, like, think about it. If you have two personalities that are just stubborn, they're going to bump heads all the time.
That's true.
And if you have two people that are, like, too chaotic, that's just not good either. So you need something in between. So if you're like 40% stubborn, you need the guy to be at least something like, I don't know, 60%, 50, 70% more stubborn. If you're the kind of person that's like really indecisive, you need someone to be a little bit more decisive to make those decisions sometimes that you can't make. And it doesn't really matter who is it. If it's the man, if it's the
depends
woman.
on the area as well.
Yeah, it depends on the area.
Are you okay showing your soft side, if I can call it this way? Or it's more like
to people or
Jordan Peterson?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not like on the street.
On the street.
But to close ones or.
I'm okay with it. It just doesn't happen.
Oh, it doesn't happen?
No. Like, I know that I'm okay with it. I know that if we were talking about something emotional right now, I'm okay with, like, shedding a tear. It just doesn't happen, which is weird. And I don't know if it's subconsciously blocking it out, or is it that I'm just built like that mentally, where I'm more to myself. Because I know sometimes I sit down and I have those moments. If I'm writing, if I'm, like, angry. Recently it developed. Like, it used to be if I'm angry, I would cry. Now it's more like swearing. But I guess it depends on the thing.
That's why you wanted the title of the
Yes. Like, I had an issue like that was going on with a plane ticket for the past 4 weeks, and I was just swearing the whole time inside the house, this, that. But now it's calmed down. It's all right. I didn't cry about it. Yeah, but no, I'm okay with it. And I think you need to be okay with it. But I'm also not good at it. I'm not good at being in touch with my emotion.
But what guys think about self-love? Like, I should love myself, but or it would be more, I'm the best in that sense. Like,
it's important. Because I know you mentioned something about it being different to narcissism. So it's important to love yourself, but also to understand what's wrong with you as well, because you're not perfect. Because you could fall into the trap of you love yourself to the point where you think that you have no room for being better, no room for development. And some people fall into that and they become narcissistic and they think they're the best at everything.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not. You're just not. If you are, you would be God status, right? And that's just not unattainable. It's important, but just don't fall into the trap of you can't become better, right? But how do you become better? How do you love yourself to the point where you know you're good, but you can be better?
Through self-discipline at some point. But looking at yourself from the observer point of view and having goals and knowing who you want to be. And there are always things to improve, to work on. Otherwise, what to do? I wouldn't know what to do in my life.
What if you achieve those goals? What if you set out like very sharp?
I don't think I'll ever do.
Really?
I don't think I'll ever achieve.
Your goals? Do they change every single time?
No. They develop.
Okay.
Right? Because even this book, I just wanted to write my thoughts in a small ebook and maybe send it to some friends. And it started developing into this project. And then I was talking to my husband and he said, yeah, don't worry, I will just edit it for you. And then it got to the point where I thought, I need a professional editor. So there was another goal. Now I need someone to actually check it for me. I need the editor to check, as English is my second language, plus I think native speakers, they do the same thing. It just ended up to be this big professional project with proofreaders, with editors, with, graphic design. My daughter, she did the whole picture, but then there was someone else changed the fonts and stuff, and it developed. But I wouldn't be able to come up with this at the start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be, okay, so now I'm going to write this book. The title will be this. On the cover will be this. It will have that many pages. And now, because I want to be here on the podcast one day, it won't be like that.
No.
The goals, and I believe that I will have more and more goals because I even don't know what maybe what's around the corner.
Okay.
I may feel one day, like when I started this, I would never think about the second book, but maybe one day the second book will come, but it wouldn't never come if I haven't had that already done.
Yeah.
So we can plan some goals, and I'm really into this, but we can just go that far.
When did you thought about it? Because like you said, you started it as an ebook, yeah? You didn't really
just like...
I'll just write. Oh, which is interesting. Why don't you write it in Polish? Polish library is pretty big.
It's a really good question.
Yeah.
I never thought about this. Why I didn't...
Do you think it would have been different if you did?
Because I'm here,
Yes.
and I already had my Instagram, and it was in English.
Okay.
And I just felt more. I don't know why.
You had your audience more in Australia.
I think so.
Okay. Polish library is pretty big, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely! It's such. We can call it poetic language.
It is poetic.
You can have. Is it like in your language as well? You can have the word cat.
Okay.
Right? And here you can say cat, kitty, big cat, dangerous cat.
Yes.
Blah, blah. But in Polish, the way you just say the word cat, it will show not only how big the cat is, but also your emotions towards if you like this cat or not.
Okay. So is it an emotive language? Does it use more emotion or more logic?
Both, but I would say quite lots emotions. So definitely this book would be thicker.
Yeah.
Because even to describe one thing, you just take few words. But it's I work as an interpreter as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did accreditation years ago.
Okay.
And this is where I realized there are so many things you can't really translate because it's just there's emotion behind it, and
Yes.
English seems quite plain when you compare. Is it the same?
It depends on what you're writing, because I know that sometimes I read some authors in English and I can get the emotion that they're trying to convey. It doesn't happen when it's translated. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
So if the author is English and that's their first language and they're good at writing, they can give you the emotion. So for example, my favorite English author would be Philip K. Dick.
Yeah.
He's a sci-fi author. I can get the emotion he's trying to give because one, English is his first language. Two, I like sci-fi. Three, he can put me where the setting is happening. And it's really wild settings sometimes. And it's sometimes like outer space. Sometimes it's in the future. When I read, I'm like immersed. I'm there. And that's in English. I have Dante's Inferno. Dante wrote it in Italian. The book that I have has the Italian on the left side, the English translation on the right side. It's a poem, okay? The poem, when it's translated into English, it's very dry, right? Because when you read it in Italian, everything rhymes. Everything
Yeah.
makes sense. But when you go to the English side, it's just like you're reading a story. And so that's the big difference for me. That's why I stopped reading Dante, because I don't know Italian. If I would want to read Dante again,
Then you want to.
I want to learn Italian. Because then you get the idea of what this guy is trying to describe. And it's very wild shit. This guy's in hell. And so if you're reading about this guy's trip to hell with no emotion, it's not as good, right? That's why sometimes I think, is Dostoevsky Polish or is it Nietzsche or is it neither?
No.
Neither of them, yeah. I think one of them is German, actually. I think Nietzsche is German.
Yeah, and Dostoevsky is a Russian, I think.
Is he? Yeah, Russian. Dostoevsky is good, but even when you read it, like, you can imagine the whole thing, but the emotion is just, for me, out of it. Unless you get like a really good translator, a really good what do they call him, translator?
Yeah, in writing is translator. I use the word interpreter because I do it in. I just speak.
Yeah. Do you like it?
I do.
Okay. How long have you been doing it for?
7, something like this.
You still doing it now?
Yeah.
All right.
But not in person.
Okay.
I do it on the phone now.
Okay.
I get calls, and there's an older person usually on the other side who can't speak English, so I have the sense of kind of giving to community,
Okay.
helping those people. And I still do it because I don't want to lose my accreditation.
Okay.
That's also
Yeah.
because that's a really good thing to have,
Yeah.
to be an interpreter. And yeah, I like doing it, to have, I had no idea how many Polish people in Melbourne can't speak English.
Is there a lot of Polish people in Melbourne?
Not that many. I don't know exactly how many.
Is it a big group?
But big enough to get the scholarship from government to actually become an interpreter for them. Yeah. And there are jobs. If I want to, I could be on the phone all the time.
Really? What? Is that, how many languages do you speak? Just one? Oh, sorry, it's just two.
Just two, and I can a little bit understand Russian.
Is it similar?
Not so much, but I had to learn Russian when I was a girl.
Really?
We were under Russian umbrella.
Okay. When is that? 80s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had still Russian troops back in Poland till the communism stopped.
When did it stop?
86. 89.
How long did it take to recover after that?
Oh, it was just slowly. Slow process, not straight away.
Okay.
But I remember that's quite amazing to see your country developing from really grey. I remember my parents had to stand in long lines to get nice sausages for Christmas.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And when they my aunt from States, she was sending oranges for Christmas.
Dude.
And now to see this country.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I'd wish to visit one day. I really want to go to.
Now I've seen so many YouTube videos about people who actually moved to Poland from
live,
other
yeah.
countries
Yeah.
to live there. It's quite incredible, and I feel privileged that I remember really, black and white TV and
Oh yeah.
long lines, and I was the remote control at home.
Oh, you're not that old.
Change the channel. Change. I was the remote control.
Or a control freak. That was you.
No, the remote control from my father. That's what I mean. Yeah, because I was a kid, and there were just two channels, so he was going through.
I thought you used to hug it all the time. that one kid.
No, I used to be a control freak. I don't do it anymore.
For the TV.
For everything.
Or just
for
in general.
everybody.
Oh, as a personality trait.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Why?
Because I thought that things won't be done the right way if I don't control them. If I'm not on top of things, if I don't tell it, now you have to leave because you'll be late. If now, I was exhausted.
Were you trying to control
everything and everybody?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Ooh, including your.
But I thought I'm help. It was a kind of helping.
Yeah. Was it? How? How would you think that? How would you approach it with that mentality?
It was exhausting. I'm so happy I'm out of it.
Okay. I know if you're controlling people, what goes in your head when you're trying to control people? Like, how would you think that this could possibly be good?
I don't think I've ever thought that it would be good, but I thought without my control, people won't be able to manage.
Oh.
Right?
So they would get lost.
They would get lost. Yeah. They need me.
Yeah.
And it looks like they fine.
Yeah.
They fine. Yeah.
But some people never get out of it.
I did. And I realized that one day I woke up to this idea, and I mentioned a bit about food addiction in the book.
Yes.
So this is where I reached you can say I hit my rock bottom. And I really turn around the way I think, the way I live my life. And this is where I realized that I try to control everything together with even, God, like higher power, everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a religious person?
Not in a religious sense, like church type of, but spiritually, yes. Now, and I feel really relieved once I have this feeling that there is something much bigger than me watching over, and that I don't need to do that much.
But how do you hold yourself accountable then?
In what sense?
Because, you could argue that if you succumb to the idea that not everything is in your hands and some things happen, you could easily say that, oh, it's not my fault. Like, God did this, they did that, this happened, it's out of my control. Do you get what I'm saying? So if something happened and it could be your fault, like if you screw someone over, if you had a fallout with a person, something went wrong, and it could be your fault. How do you tread carefully between not blaming outside circumstances and holding accountability?
I feel very much accountable for my life.
Okay.
For things that I have control over. So I look at things that, do I have control over this or I don't? Like our meeting today, right? I really don't like to be late. So I left earlier. And that was my control over things, that I can plan it.
Okay.
But the moment I got to the car, I have no control over what's going to happen. And I actually had this dialogue coming in, looking at a TA changing.
Yes.
But I said, okay, I could probably before I would be like, oh my God.
Yes, yeah.
But now I say, okay, it's changing. What can I do? What's my control? My control is let you know. Okay, that's the respectful thing.
Yeah.
It's under my control that I can stop for a second, quickly let you know, and just keep going, right? So I differentiate what I have control over, what I don't. And from the part, and I feel like I'm working together. It's not that I'm separate from it, but there are some things that I have to do in order for other things to happen.
Okay.
So I feel very much accountable for my part. I think so, yeah.
Would that be the same as letting go? Because
letting go is exactly the moment for me of stopping the control where I don't have the control. Because I was controlling stuff I couldn't control.
Okay.
In the where
how would you know you can't control it?
There's a big prayer, beautiful prayer that when I was meeting with the Food Addict organization, we used to say every day, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So God, grant me, give me the wisdom to know what I can change, what I cannot change, because sometimes it may not necessarily be such a clear cut, right?
Yeah.
And between things you can control or you can't. When you wanted to buy those tickets, right?
Yes.
You were angry, but there were things you couldn't control.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So
That's
how
true.
do you then find where's my part and where's this letting go, right?
Okay, let's think about it, say, for example, from a romantic sense. Say the most common thing, right? Because a lot of people fall into this trap where, say, for example, if someone breaks up with you or whatever, or your parents, you have a bad parent relationship with your parents, and you feel obliged to be good with them, but at the same time, you make excuses. Why do we make excuses?
For ourselves or
Yes.
for other people?
Don't you think we make excuses most of the times?
Oh, we do make excuses.
But why? What's the thought process behind that?
We want to look good.
Really?
In the eyes of the other people or in the eyes of our eyes?
Yeah.
Would it be? What do you think?
We make excuses for other people most of the times, right? Because, like, say, for example, if you like someone and this person is, like, really bad and not very compatible with you, you know it. But you can't let go because you convince yourself with the idea that this person could be good because you lied to yourself. You made excuses. Right. Have you ever been caught up in this situation before?
I'm just thinking. Oh, no, but she didn't mean that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It happens most of the times. A lot of the times. Do you think you need some aspect of letting go into it?
Of not to make excuses for other people.
Yeah. Or is it just understanding yourself?
So would it be the aspect of letting go? I'm not sure if I'm here on the right track. But
Okay.
let's say from the mother's perspective,
sure.
Right? My kid does something wrong, and
Yes.
then I look for excuses. But oh no, she didn't mean it.
Yes. How
Instead
would you go
of
about it?
letting go and let her live through the consequences.
Yes.
Of
yes.
what
That's exactly
she
it.
just did.
Yes. Would you let go or would you?
I think quite often I do, as a mom.
Why? Do you fear that you become a control freak if you don't?
No, I just don't. I want my kids to to learn life
Mm.
and to know what life is and what consequences might be of the situations.
Mm.
Not really about control, protection. This is letting go more of protection, right? Because you don't want your kids to suffer. You don't want your kids to, you want them to have the most amazing childhood.
Mm.
And then protective mother would quickly fix something above their heads,
Yeah.
so they don't need to worry about that.
Do you think being a protective mother is different to being overprotective?
Yes.
How so?
Because as a mother, I am protective.
Okay.
These are my kids.
Okay.
And I think I'll always be protective towards them.
What's overdoing it?
So, for example, I see the car, right? I was in a situation, my girl runs straight to the car. I'm protective. I take, overprotective would be, for example, and I had to work on it.
Okay.
When my girls were fighting,
Mm.
I was jumping straight away, trying to solve, so they wouldn't suffer, neither of them, instead of letting them to solve their own issue.
Mm.
As long as, they were not killing each other, it's fine.
Mm.
And letting them argue it through and find the solution. It was harder for them at the start, but then at the end, they just had to come up with a solution for the situation, instead of me telling them, no, but that's your fault because you didn't do this, that's your fault you didn't do this, you should apologize, me giving solution on a plate. Does it make sense?
Well, not for that much for me because I'm not a mother.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It does
Mother
make sense.
lecture.
Yeah. It makes sense. Maybe if I become a mother one day, I'll stay.
Are you planning to?
Not anytime soon. Well, yeah. But I think it's a bit wild, don't you think? How men can become mothers these days. Biologically.
Yeah.
It's weird because, like, do you think men have what it takes to be mothers?
Oh gosh, nobody asked me. I never asked myself this question. Do men have? Men, they have what they need to be fathers.
They do. Some don't. Some
Yeah.
lack a lot to become fathers. Some men struggle with it.
But there are differences. I see. Even my husband has this really big soft side,
Okay.
like a bit closer to Jordan Peterson, I
Okay.
would say.
Yes.
But still, his way of parenting
Mm.
is just different.
What about a balance?
Yeah, and then there is a balance.
Mm.
Yeah, the balance between I enjoy seeing and developing feminine and masculine energy. I mentioned before that I've put myself with the control and other stuff that I was doing 100%, 110, I say, into masculine energy, and it was exhausting for me. I woke up one day and I said, I just can't do it anymore like that.
What's masculine energy for you?
So maybe it will be easier for me to say what I added as the feminine energy. Maybe
Wait, what? Sorry.
what I changed what I started adding as
Okay,
feminine
yeah,
energy. It
yeah.
would be maybe easier for me to say.
Yes.
More softness,
Mm.
a bit. More letting go.
Mm.
Less to go, do.
Okay.
More trust and more trusting my intuition.
Okay.
More be truly in tuned with my intuition.
Mm.
And I started making those changes in my life, and I was thinking, oh, and making decisions. Like I feel like lots of men are really good in making decisions, like direct decisions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I thought at some point maybe I don't need to make all this. And I was making every single decision, and I created the household that everybody was coming to me at the end to make the decision. So even when my girls asked Sebastian for some, and he said yes, they had to confirm this with me.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
It was like the last word.
Big boss energy.
Nah.
Yes. Yeah, I get it.
It was great.
Oh.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah.
One day I realized no. And I thought I would just stop doing this and see what happened. And I've noticed that I created this household because I didn't trust other people that they can do things themselves. Oh my gosh, that's so screwed. Anyway.
No, I see it.
Yeah.
To be fair, well, before we dive into it, he's my editor, cameraman.
Oh.
Are we getting some?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Are you just going to eat and not share?
I need a sugar hits.
I don't know if it makes sense what I'm saying here.
Just go ahead. No, it definitely makes sense because like my mother, I would say, and father, because they're more Middle Eastern backgrounds, they love to be controlling.
Both?
And think about it from this way. They think more about being controlling as being protective. They mix them up.
Okay. Yeah.
And so they don't really differentiate the two. They don't separate. And so as an adolescent, if you're 17, 18, 19, they don't think that you know what's best for you. Not until you get married, at least, which is just dangerous. Right? How do you prop a person well enough to be able to start a family and take responsibility if you don't trust them? If you don't teach them how to do it? If you're just doing everything for them? And that's what controlling essentially is. You're basically doing everything for them. You're making their decisions. You are planning their lives. You are controlling what they do. Say, for example, if you want to change uni courses, they could oppose you. As simple as that. And that's very common. And we see it a lot, right? And not a lot of people are comfortable with it on both sides, the kids and the parents. And it's just stupid. When you talk to some kid and you go, well, what do you want to do with your life? And he goes, I don't know. I'll probably become an engineer, doctor, something like that. Well, I'll make my parents happy.
Yeah.
Okay, but who the fuck is making you happy? They don't think like that. It's more like, I'll make my parents happy, I'll make my parents proud. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But to make your parents happy and proud by doing what you want, it's far more righteous and valuable than doing what they want.
Yeah.
Because no one knows what's better for you other than you, correct? And so they don't snap out of it like you did. They don't. They just don't. They stay in that mindset their whole lives. Some people die being controlled by their parents. They be 30, 40, 70. They just don't realize it. And it's dangerous. And that's why it pushes you to talk to them. Like, one of the reasons why we have this whole thing set up is to talk to these people. Because I was like that at some point as a kid. 17, 18, 19. My parents wanted to control everything I did. And the whole reason why they have that idea is also solidified when they come here. So if they're living there, they already have that idea. Okay?
Okay.
When they come here, this idea is just more solidified. Why? Because they think that when you come here, you're changing. Your personality is being influenced by the society that you're living in. And so if you go out to your parents and want to do something that's considered Western, they would call you out for being influenced by the society, not you becoming more of who you are. And kind of like, what is the word? Immersing into the culture, or like becoming, what's the word for it?
What is in Arabic? I can know.
Like immersing. In Arabic,
Yeah,
um,
I'd say.
in Arabic is more like تأقلم.
Oh, so going on or managing yourself with the society and the community that here. So you change yourself from living in a certain country, and you follow certain traditions, laws there, and you go to another country, you have to follow the traditions and the way they living.
That's a very long explanation.
Yeah.
That is not it. But there's a word
But
for it.
influenced, and and they try to bring you back.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they stick to their old traditions. They stick to the old culture norms.
Would you compare it to this situation? My husband he was always going every Sunday with his parents to church,
Okay.
right? The moment he got married, he was like, I don't need to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we got married and we stopped doing it. But now, why he stopped doing it? Because of me,
Oh.
right? But that's not true.
No.
He didn't want to go.
Okay.
He wanted to stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you come to the country, you are changing. You want to change.
Yeah.
But the blame goes on the country, right?
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
country
Yeah, the
changed
country
you,
changed you,
but
something like
it's
that.
actually you're blooming.
You become
you
more
f-
of who you really are.
Who you really are.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a different environment.
Yeah, and some people, this country maybe is just not for them, or any different country. That's why I'm not against changing countries. Like you live here, but not necessarily you're bound to be here your whole life. Go out, explore somewhere different. The whole world is so far and big and wide. Maybe if Melbourne doesn't suit you, go to Europe. Europe doesn't suit you, try Middle East. Middle East doesn't suit you, try Asia. It's so different. It's so fucking different everywhere you go. The culture is different. The social norms are different. What's acceptable for you here could be unacceptable in different places. So just go out, live your life. Would you say the same to your children? Would you hold them back?
I wouldn't hold them back
Really?
because I know I'm lucky enough not to be held back by
You-
my parents.
Okay. What's not being held back
Or
like?
they never made me feel bad by leaving them and coming to Australia, for instance.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you when you left?
Well, I was already married,
Okay.
but still they could, try to.
Guilt trip you. to say.
I hear all the time about guilt trips from parents that people have up to this now, up today, and
Yeah.
I've never had that. And my parents were always telling me to explore, to check new things.
Yeah. That's different. At least with my parents, it's different.
But maybe your parents were brought up the same way,
They are.
right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's very hard to. I've heard Louise Hay said once, "We are all victims of victims,"
Oh.
and I thought this is so powerful because it's not they want what's the best for you, right? They thought this is the best because that's all they know. That's how they were brought up.
But you gotta end the cycle somewhere if it's a bad cycle.
Because I'm very philosophical in the sense of what I'm doing right or wrong, trying to work on myself all the time.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to. Philosophy is everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah.
It's with whatever you decide to do and anything you decide to do. You can't escape it.
So is Melbourne your place?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't call it that for the first 7 years. Or 6 years.
So how long is it?
I've only been here since 2015, so what's that? 5,
Baby.
3? Oh yeah, big baby. I think this is my 7th year. 2015 in May. 5 years. We're 2022 or 2023. We're 2023.
Yeah.
So your parents were here or your parents came?
No, we all came together.
All
We
came together.
Yeah,
Okay.
because like as an immigrant,
Oh yeah.
you leave, you apply for migration as a family, you come here. So after 6 years or 7 years, Jesus, I'm so lost with count. This is my 8th year, yeah?
You guys related?
No, we're not related.
No.
No. He's my friend. Funny enough, I used to know him back in Jordan because I lived in Jordan for 2 years.
Ah.
Because he's how the process works. As an Iraqi citizen, I'm not allowed to apply for migration from Iraq because they consider you like high top priority danger.
Okay, yeah.
So you have to like leave the country and give your case for the embassy in Jordan, Lebanon, Turkey, anywhere in between.
Okay.
So I went to Jordan. We lived for 2 years. We applied. We came here. I knew this guy there. I mean, we've had
In
a
Jordan.
yeah, we have a photo together in 15?
No. Yeah, 15.
2015. We've got a photo together, like in the same group, but I just didn't know him. Like we came here and we became friends. And then when we were going through the photos, I saw a photo. I was like, "Oh, motherfucker, that's you." And he's like, "Yeah."
Oh, so you didn't remember?
No.
Oh,
It's just
wow.
one big group photo. And I was looking, I was like, "That's you in the photo." Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, that's quite amazing.
It is because the world is so small, so small. You think you know how many people on average? 1,000 people, I think, each person, 1,000 to 2,000
Yeah.
people. And I read somewhere that you're 10 people away from 1,000,000, which makes you 100 people away from 1,000,000,000.
Hold on. So we know 1,000 people, and
You know 1,000 people in your life, which puts you 10 people away from 1,000,000.
how is it 10 people away from the million?
Think about it. If on average, you know.
1,000 plus 10. is
No,
1,000.
search it up, just to make sure.
Oh, it's just my mathematic brain.
Huh?
Who said it?
I don't know who said it exactly, but just search 10 people away from 1,000,000. Because connections work like that.
Oh, in the sense of connection.
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
In the sense of connections. Because if you're like 10 people, if you know 1,000 person in your life, which you realistically could, right? You meet a lot of people.
Yeah, I had 1,000 kids in my primary school.
Well, there you go. That's just a primary school. And if they know 1,000 people,
Oh, yeah.
You multiply it.
Absolutely.
There you go,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
did you find it?
So you 10
I found
people.
something
Yeah.
on Wikipedia says 6 degrees of separation.
That is not what we're talking about, brother. But yeah, connections are very good. They help you wherever you go. Excuse me. So recently, I think I've become adapted to Melbourne.
Yeah.
I like it. Back then, I didn't like it because it felt very rural, very different for me. But now I've, learned to like it. I became more immersed into the society. I went to the footy.
I still
Really?
don't.
No,
Yeah.
you're gonna get hated.
I have Australian citizenship and
You haven't gone to the footy yet.
footy.
You're gonna get bashed in our comments.
Yeah, I know. Someone told me you shouldn't be Australian citizen.
Yeah, no, it's a good experience. Why haven't you gone? Are you not a big sports person?
Because Sebastian is not.
Okay.
Kids were never into it.
Okay.
So it's kind of, I see families when they have sons, it's like somehow they into it.
Okay.
We have daughters and we are into basketball
Okay.
more area, and it's just soccer is still my thing
Really?
from Europe,
You like soccer?
but the finals, yes, I do.
Football for people who are
Yes, football.
Football. Are you more football?
Oh,
or
you know
soccer person?
Lewandowski.
Of course we know
Yes.
Lewandowski. Yeah.
Our national hero.
There you go. Is he like the best Polish player all time, or is
Yeah,
it more
I
Puskas?
think
Or is
so,
Puskas
yeah.
not Polish?
Yeah.
What is Puskas? What is his nationality?
I think
He's not Polish, is he?
German.
German? No, he's not German. Maybe Hungarian.
Hungarian,
So,
sorry.
During
Hungarian.
communism, when I went to States, short after, not so short, I was at uni.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, Poland, Valensa," because he was the guy who helped the communists to stop in Poland. But now it's like, "Oh, Poland, Lewandowski."
Ah. Is he like your most famous figure right now?
I think so.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty fucking good. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's been around for how many years now?
So you see little kids in Poland running around with the
started from-
Lewandowski in the back.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Barcelona came here last year.
I
Did you go
think it's amazing what he achieved.
as a player?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a person as well as a player.
What did
it's-
he achieve as a person?
Well, first of all, I like his. Well, I don't know the guy, but from his values, I like that he's still with the girl that they met at uni.
Hmm?
They have yep. So
Okay.
his wife they met at uni. She's Polish as well, and they really stick together. So he's like a really family guy.
Okay, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And it's not like that. It's all roses. Where everybody was like, "Yeah, welcome, Robert. We love you from the
Okay.
start." You
Yeah.
know, he had to really push hard, and I have huge respect for people who work on themselves, who
Okay.
push hard, who know what they want, and huge.
Did he get rejected at some point in Poland?
I don't know exactly his history. I actually watched the movie, but I'm not
He's
very
got a
good in
movie?
keeping. Yeah, he put there's a like a Netflix. There was
Documentary?
something like documentary
I
about
gotta
him.
watch it.
He was rejected. He had some injuries and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Are you big on football? Or just love
not so much. I like the atmosphere.
Oh.
You know, when there is a group of people and we watch it together. I remember me watching it with my father. You know, yelling
Ah.
when there are finals, and
Yeah.
that's what I like. But I wouldn't know now who is like the best or something. No.
Liverpool Football Club. On top of the world right now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Don't worry about this guy.
No.
Yeah.
Different theories.
Different theories.
Okay.
We don't go into that. We'll turn this whole thing into a sports episode.
Yeah, and I'll just listen then.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think football atmosphere in Melbourne is all right, but it could be better. And it's in Australia in general. Like if you saw what happened with the World Cup, with the Women's World Cup, it was a pretty big deal right here. People liked it, and so it's got potential. It's got potential. They just gotta like put the right fundings into it, put the right IDs into it, bring good players, like actual good players, not just Honda when he's about to retire, and then we can prosper. But with the whole MCG situation, I really feel for you. You gotta go for the game. You gotta go for one game at least.
Okay, promise.
One game. And you gotta go for Essendon.
I like definitely the I know that I have to go for Essendon.
Yes, please. I mean, you're wearing red, aren't you?
I'm from Hawthorne.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I might be in trouble.
You might be in trouble. Well, I remember one time me and him we were going back from the city, and it was a Collingwood Carlton game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were cruising through the street, and I remember, was it Collingwood that lost?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Richmond, I think they.
Oh yeah, Richmond Carlton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were.
Richmond Carlton. We were in Richmond, right? And Richmond
You
lost.
said Essendon?
Oh no, there was a Carlton game, and I just put the wind down, and I just called out every single Richmond fan. He put it up straight away and locked it. He thought we were gonna get bashed. So maybe go for Hawthorn if you live in Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Might as well put the flag up.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I remember back in the days, it was extremely hard to, like, I was shocked here when I got here, and I saw so many kids walking into the stadium, because I remember back in the days, there was no way you could bring kids in, because people were just fighting.
In the MCG, or like
No,
just
not
anything?
here in Australia, but back in Poland.
They wouldn't bring kids into stadiums.
Yeah, because people were fighting. It was dangerous.
Really?
Yeah, to see soccer game.
Jesus.
No.
Until now.
I heard this one thing. What's the difference between soccer and footy? So, when players play soccer, the audience, they fight.
Okay.
But when there is footy, players fight and audience, they make barbecues.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's more like it. Because if
so
you,
that's the difference.
dude, if you go to South America with football for South America, they go crazy, like stadiums on fire, crazy. South America don't hold back. But here, yeah, it's more friendly. It's more barbecues.
Yeah,
and,
so there are small kids. And I think that's great.
yeah, it is.
That's really fun.
It's what really sports
Okay,
is
I
about.
promise I'll go.
There you go.
I really want to have my 100% of my Australian citizenship then.
There you go. If you have no one to go with, just shoot me a message.
I will.
We'll organize it 100%. I'm not big on, footy as well, but we'll go for the atmosphere. Because here's the thing. When you watch it on TV,
Atmosphere.
it's a shit sport. And I'm just going to say it right here. On TV, footy is trash. But when you go to the stadium, it's actually pretty good.
So the same would be with the concert, right?
Yes.
When you go and see the atmosphere, people there, it's totally different
Yes.
than when you just...
When's the last time you went to a concert?
Before pandemic, Bon Jovi.
Who?
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi. Is that a European artist?
It's my life. Oh, come on.
Feels...
American.
Is he American?
Yeah, John Bon Jovi.
John Bon Jovi. I feel so uneducated right now. Is he like 90s, 80s?
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably why. Can you judge me? I'm born in 2000.
But they were quite...
Or maybe if you put like one song, I'd recognize them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I
Put a Bon Jovi song.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. There's
Yeah.
no way.
We'll get copy striked, but it's okay.
Is that the one? Am I wrong? Oh, that's for the kids.
The
Anna.
Holy Doolies. The hell is that?
I don't know.
John
man.
Bon Jovi, I'll show you. Do you want me to find it on the phone?
Sure. I love exploring music.
I'm sure you will. You know him.
I listen to a lot of different things.
No, this sounds like child music. So he came to Australia.
Okay.
So I've been to his concert twice.
Twice. You're like a big fan.
No, but I like the concert.
John Bon Jovi.
It's my life, it's now or
I actually recognize him now. I've seen this face.
I'm gonna live for
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. John Bon Jovi.
Oh, I got it. Yep.
You got
Yeah?
it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, there you go. See, I'm not that uneducated. Yeah.
61 years old.
61.
It was
More
funny. We went to this concert,
Mm.
and I look at people and I say, so many old people.
In one place.
Like last time I went to the concert, there were just young people, and then I passed the mirror, and I kind of looked like, I look like everybody. Then I realized,
More
because
or
in
less.
my mind, concert is just, I remembered seeing really young people.
Okay.
Yeah, but Bon Jovi is,
It's like your favorite artist?
no,
No, what's your favorite artist?
I don't have.
Really?
Yeah,
Most frequent. What do
I
you listen
like
to?
listening to all sorts of artists, all sorts of music. I'll go for classic music, and then I'll listen to Bon Jovi in the car. Go,
Classic like Beethoven?
like for instance, Chopin
Really?
relaxes me as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Are you like a morning type person, music? Like you wake up and you put on music and...
Mm-mm.
No?
silence usually
Really?
in coffee.
Oh. Is that your first?
No, but since listening to Andrew Huberman,
Uncle Andrew?
yeah, Uncle Andrew, wujek Andrzej. I don't have my coffee for the first 2 hours of the day.
Yeah, I
And
saw
that
something about that.
really helped me so much.
How did it help you?
Because he said if you don't have, well, I can't explain it this, I don't have the charm and the way he explained it. He talks about all the, my understanding is, from what he said, all the hormones, when you wake up, the hormones, dopamine, whatever, other stuff, they wake up in your body.
Okay.
The moment you drink it, you suppress it, right?
Mm.
And then you have the afternoon crash, right?
Yeah.
I used to be like almost call out, sometimes call from the bed, call to my kids, Kaya, bring me coffee. I want to get out from the bed
Damn.
until I have my coffee.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see.
Yeah, big difference.
I've been working a lot on myself, as you see.
More power to you, man.
And once I've had this, I said 2 hours. There's no way. And I felt I need coffee. Then I need second coffee. Then I need maybe about 5 coffees per day.
Okay.
per day.
You're
Yeah.
a coffeeholic.
Mm.
Holy shit.
In the afternoon, definitely, because I was crashing. But that's how it was. It was normal. I just felt that's how it was. That's how everybody lives. But
Coffee
when he
after
said
coffee.
2 hours, I said, okay, I'll give it a go.
Okay.
I gave it a go, and then ever since, actually today I had 2 coffees, but normally I will have just one. 2 hours after I wake up, I don't have afternoon crash, maybe sometimes, and I don't need any more. I don't need more coffees.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, and just to put, because he said all the hormones and everything is building up. The moment you drink coffee, it just you suppress it.
Yeah, it's like an inhibitor.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how
And I had no idea that I was doing something wrong. That was my normal.
Yeah.
I thought, and the way I felt, I also didn't know that I may feel normal.
Okay.
I may feel different until I did. And then I can now compare to how I was. But then I thought that's how and I have quite high energy levels. So I thought I'm still doing all right.
Did you feel a difference straight away, or did it take a few times to
Oh,
get
like
used to it?
1 week.
1 week into
Even
it?
1 week, quite quick.
How was the first week?
It was okay. I
Okay.
just, when I put something to my head, okay, I will have coffee up 2 hours. It was okay.
Okay.
I got myself busy doing other things, and just had coffee 2 hours after.
What's the usual time for you to wake up?
The perfect time, if I don't need to do anything, it would be 7:38. But if I have to wake up earlier, then I would. I would like to be more of the morning person, and I was for a while when I recently came back from Poland. It was great. Was waking up every day at 5 and going straight for the
Jesus.
walk. It was fantastic. I loved it, and I thought it would stay, but it didn't.
You just got immersed back into Melbourne.
Yes, it just yeah.
It takes over. This whole
Yeah.
place takes over.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
It depends. I mean, if I have to record an episode, because I'm terrible with time management. I'm like the most disorganized person you'll find in your life.
Why?
I don't have good time management. I have time management issues. Have you heard about anger management issues? I've got time management issues.
That's what I would like to understand, how it works, how people can have time management issues.
Okay.
That's just the psychology session.
This
Like,
guy's
this
just
is-
laughing, man. Okay. I have a lot of shit to do. And I'm a
Okay.
slow person.
Okay.
Okay. So if I want to do something, say for example, leave the house by 10 o'clock. So that means I need to wake up 7 o'clock. Why? Because I'm going to have to have my breakfast. I'm going to have to get my stuff ready. I'm going to have to pick my clothes. And I know you got something to say about that. Just hold it. Okay. Okay. I gotta pick my clothes. I gotta wash my face, have a shower, or maybe sometimes.
Does it take you to wash your face?
How long? I mean, it's like brushing and washing my face altogether like 7 minutes. I brush my teeth and wash my face in 7 minutes. I know I'm a slow person, and I use like that electric brush.
How do you do that? Like,
How do I wash my face? I've got like soap, like face wash.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. I've calculated it one time, and I was like rushing.
It's just
No, I've got to like put soap and all of that, not just water, soap and the whole, because
Okay,
I got
keep
I got like a morning routine. It's a whole ritual. The whole thing takes about an hour and a half,
so just the
just to get ready.
okay.
Okay, and then if I gotta prepare something to bring with me, that's another like 15 minutes. Because I gotta find it if I
That's why
haven't
your
prepared
face
it.
is so gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Probably just lighting. But yeah, who knows?
No, I think that's washing.
You think so? Yeah, I wash it twice a day. That's about it. I'm a guy. I don't put that much care into my face.
I never wash my face for 7 minutes.
There
Now
you
I
go.
feel
I
terrible.
know. I think so for 7
No,
minutes.
I don't wash it for 7 minutes. It's a combination of washing my face and brushing my teeth. Brushing my teeth is probably like 4 or 3 minutes,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
I walk around the house.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can't just like, that's it.
Absolutely.
You gotta make sure it's all clean, and then
Yes.
the tongue and all of that. And so washing my face probably just another like 2 minutes. Because like when I say washing my face, I say washing my face and putting my moisturizer on. And so it's another like 2 minutes. See, so it's not all that bad. So it's time management issues, and so maybe I need to leave the house by 10. That's 1 hour and a half gone. So I wake up, 8, 9:30. I'm done getting ready, and I've got 30 more minutes to do something else.
Okay.
And so if I don't do that in 30 minutes that I estimated for it, then I'm running late, because 10 o'clock is going to come in 30 minutes. And if I haven't done what I need to do in 30 minutes, which is not a lot of time for a slow person, you're running late. You're running behind. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Say, for example, I've got a meeting with a friend.
Yeah.
Say we're going out at 7 o'clock. He said, meet me there at 8. Okay? He said, meet me there at 8. I'll probably have to start getting ready at 6. If it's like a 10-minute trip to the place where we said we were going to meet. So yes, I have very terrible time management issues.
But at least you know when you need to start.
Yeah, because
So
I'm
that's
trying
not-
to fix it.
That's not bad. The worst thing is if you think you do everything in 1 hour.
No fucking way. No, I
Yeah.
can't do that. Yeah.
If you know how long, it's not the problem to be a slow person. As long as you know how much time you need, and people are not waiting for 2 hours for you to come. Or they do. They do.
I have no comments.
Sometimes he was going to pick me up today. He was waiting outside. No, today I wasn't that late.
14 minutes.
Yeah, 14. 14 by my standards.
14.
Yeah,
14.
he waited for me outside my house for
Oh,
14
so-
minutes.
Wow, I was missing something.
And I really worried about, if I know I wouldn't worry about those 10 minutes. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die.
What do you mean?
Because I was late 10 minutes. For
Oh,
me, it's huge.
yeah. But for me, like, I left the house at 10. So even if I'm late like 14 minutes, it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
Or 10 or 11? 11, yeah. So that's why, like, I leave, like, ages before, just in case. So, yeah, time management issues. That's me. Not very
But
positive.
is it time management issues if you know how much time you need? Because the time management is not about doing things slow, right?
What do you mean?
Because if you say, it takes me to wash my face 1 minute, takes you 7 minutes, but then you know you need 7 minutes, and I know I need 1 minute, then we fine. We both can meet at 10, but you just need to start before,
Yeah.
a bit earlier
Well,
than I do.
You try to fix it. That's the thing. It's
So what do you try to fix?
the
Let's
time.
talk about that.
Oh, okay. you want to run a whole therapy
You
session?
can lay down. No.
What
So
do I
what?
want?
Yeah.
My management, like how not to get people to wait for me any longer, because I do that all the time. Can't remember of a single time I've been on time in the past 2 years. I'm always like at least 5-10 minutes late, at least. Maximum like 10 minutes, 15, nothing later.
But to see that's an, like, let's use the word issue. That's nothing. But no better word is coming to my mouth, to my mind. You know you need to work on it. That's the first step.
Yeah, that's the first
And
step.
this is great.
Where would you go? What would you do if you were me, apart from?
I'll kill you.
Oh, okay. No, that means you kill yourself.
Because when you talk, I'm thinking my husband.
Oh, really? Is it like that?
He was very much so. He's much better.
Okay. What did he do?
Terrible management, time management. Yeah. So when we were leaving at 10, I was always waiting for him.
Oh no.
Not always say, "Oh, I have to wait for my wife because she doesn't." No. I was ready in 15 minutes.
Yes.
You know, I had to wait for him,
Yes.
but he worked on it really hard, I must say.
What did he apply? 'Cause I gotta learn a thing or
I
two
don't
from this
know
guy.
actually what he applied. First of all, maybe he was sick of me telling him, "Oh, I have to wait." Okay, I think that was one of the things. Well, at some point, I used a terrible strategy because every single time we were late somewhere, I paid the price.
Okay.
And I hate being late. Like, I prefer to be earlier than being late.
Did you ditch the man? Leave him behind? You did?
After 10 years, I did.
Oh my god.
I just took off.
Oh,
and I came
Lord.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did it one time after 10 years of waiting.
You just drove off.
I said, I'm sorry. I just can't be late.
Yes.
Yeah. And he came, but he understood.
Yeah.
He understood why.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I can understand it too.
But I was proud of myself that I wasn't like angry or anything. I said, I just need to look at my situation.
Yeah.
I can't be late.
Yeah.
I feel terrible when I'm late. And that's where,
That's sort of like my brother.
yeah, I did.
I can understand it. My brother, when we go to church on Sunday, he likes getting there on time. I like to get there on time too.
You like it, but it doesn't happen.
It just doesn't happen. And so, I'm sorry. When he goes, mass starts at 10:30. He would leave the house around 10. The church is like 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
It's okay. He can make it on time. We both wake up. I wake up before him, actually. I wake up before him.
To be on time.
To be on time. When I get to mass...
Intention is there.
Huh?
Intention is
Intention is there. It's just that when I get to the mass, they're just at the closing ceremonies. Okay.
there. For some reason. I don't understand why.
I know. Every time I walk in, they're just saying the last prayers. And I'm like, well, I was getting ready for the past 2 hours for this.
Maybe they started earlier.
Maybe they started early, actually.
I
Yeah.
think so,
Yeah. Well, but like now they changed it anyway. There's no more morning mass. So that part of meditation of my Sunday is gone now. So I gotta pivot to something else.
No, I think, but how is it? Because my feeling was that person who does it doesn't care, like that other people are waiting or they disrespectful. But is it really? Is it what is happening in you? I really would like to understand.
What is going on inside that head?
Yeah, when you like, is it poor management time, or you just don't do things fast enough, or?
I'd say you care, because like when you're doing everything,
Okay.
in the back of your head, or at least for me, in the back of your head, you know someone is waiting for you, and it bothers you.
So it does bother you.
Of course it does. Of course it does. It bothers me that someone is waiting. So I'd love to like be out there as soon as they give me the call. I'd love to be on time for the time I said. And so it makes me feel like shit when I'm late because it's 100% my fault.
Okay, so you're taking responsibility.
100%. It's no one else's fault. Unless, like you said, like if I'm on the way and some traffic happens. But then again, I'd be like, oh, I should have gone maybe 20 minutes earlier just in case something like that would have happened. And so at the end of the day, I always like put accountability back to myself. So you do feel like it's your fault if you do feel like shit because you care. And if you don't, well, you're just, just an asshole at that point, really. You don't care about people. But yeah, you do care. You do care. It makes me feel like shit when you're not on time. So you try to be on time. That's why you try to do better, because the reason why you want to do better, the reason why you acknowledge it is because you want to do better.
I have theory.
I have ears.
Isn't it because you want everything to do perfectly? Perfectionism. So I hope my husband won't watch it. It's like he said he prefers, when we got married, he prefers not to vacuum the car inside because it takes him 3 hours and takes me 15 minutes. I just go, shh. I said, generally, I don't want super deep cleaning. I just want the car look decent.
Okay.
He is not able to make it look decent. If he starts, he needs to make it perfect.
Oh.
So I have theory. When you wash your face and brush your teeth, you need to make sure that it's all perfect. You can't just, Okay,
With one spot.
I have 2 minutes today. I don't have 7.
Yes.
So I have 2 minutes. I just have to do this and finish.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I have to do this whole ritual of putting moisturizer and everything there when
Yes,
I'm in
yes,
the
yes,
bathroom
yes.
and stuff. And I remember when he was cooking dinner, for
Yeah.
instance, it was gorgeous, amazing dinner, beautifully put on the table. But I was starving already because it took him 3 hours to do it. Now he can do it faster because he understood it doesn't need to be perfect.
Okay.
It can be just quickly done and put on a plate. It doesn't
Okay.
have to look amazing.
Okay.
And what if just, you put moisturizer in the car quickly instead of like in the bathroom to make sure that it covers all your face.
Hmm.
I don't know. That was the case, I think, with Sebastian, that he preferred, his heart was in pain when he had to leave the car vacuuming for him in the middle. For me, the job was done.
Yes.
But for him, it was it's not done. It's not properly done.
Oh.
Where am I with my theory?
I think you're just being ungrateful for good dinner.
No, see, I'm trying to help. No, it's just...
No, I mean, you're kind of right.
I was very
get-
grateful, but
Was
hungry.
it good dinner though?
It was
What does he make?
really good dinner.
Like Polish food?
No, because he doesn't really eat meat.
Okay.
We don't eat meat at home,
No.
so not really Polish food. He loves making Indian stuff.
Indian has a lot of meat, a lot of chicken.
Yeah, but they also have lots of vegetarian stuff.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you guys eat meat? Is that like a diet thing?
When we got married, we just decided I'm not fully vegetarian anymore.
Okay.
I'm a cheetah.
What's a cheetah?
A cheetah eats sometimes in the restaurant.
Oh, a cheater.
Like yeah,
Oh,
like a
like
cheetah. Not like a cheetah, the cat.
Okay.
Like a cheater.
Yeah.
We just decided we don't need to be in the process of killing animals.
Okay.
That's it. What was it? That's it.
Do you feel a difference when you are off meat?
No, because I think there are so many. Definitely back in Poland. Oh, but you got out of the topic of perfectionism.
Do you want to go back to
Chic
that?
boy.
I'll get back to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Promise.
Promise.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll finish this topic off first.
Okay. So yeah, we decided we didn't want to eat meat, and it was very hard because back then, mind you, 20 years ago, in Poland, meal without meat, it's not the meal,
Okay.
right? Because you had to, otherwise you have no. People didn't really know how to cook properly vegetarian food to have enough proteins and stuff.
Okay.
So we really had to educate ourselves a lot
Mm.
in order to do it, to make sure that we have enough proteins.
But how can you replace protein that comes from meat with vegetables?
So I don't use the word replace. It's
Okay.
just the totally different way of thinking.
Because you can't, can you? Replace meat
But-
sourced protein.
But there are proteins in so many products.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure. I think I'm doing quite all right.
But
He's
is it
doing all
natural though?
Hmm?
Is it natural though? Because you can inject those things.
I'm not sure if it's natural or not. I don't have, because I never tell people you should or you shouldn't eat meat.
Okay.
Like I have friends who eat, I have friends who don't. I really don't care. We look at what's working for us, and it was never like, oh, I want to have meat but I can't because I promised him that we won't eat meat or anything like that. It was just really natural.
Okay.
It just like cigarettes. It just, or I can't really compare, but in the sense, left us without feeling of missing out. But I would never be brave enough to tell people, oh, you should or you shouldn't eat meat. It's everybody's own choice and what's good for your body. If you feel it's natural for you, that's natural for you.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with like telling people what you think.
No, but I
it's not
really
necessarily
don't.
telling them
But
should
in
or
that
shouldn't.
case, I just can speak for myself. Really,
Okay.
it's not like I'm trying to avoid
But
the
like-
topic. It just really that's
Oh,
all I know.
I know. But like when you look at the nutritional facts, scientific facts, how do you comprehend that this isn't necessarily good for me? How do you like think about it like that? Because I get that some vegetables, they do have protein in them. Like broccoli is pretty rich with protein, for example.
No, but you have other sources of proteins like lentils.
Yeah, beans and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's different protein. That's what I'm trying to say. It's different to the
In
protein in
that
meat.
sense.
Yeah, they're different, two different things. It's just like fats. There's fats that are good for you. There's fats that are bad for you, and you need to know which ones to avoid. The exact same thing I think with vegetables and meat. And too much meat can be problematic as well. You ever heard of what we call in Arabic is marad al-muluk? Is that what it's called?
No.
Then
Oh, God, let me see.
I think something that's like it's like King's disease or something like that. It's where you eat too much red meat, because back then kings used to eat a lot of red meat and they'd get really sick because a lot of red meat is bad for
Also,
you.
it's called King's disease.
King's disease, yes.
Okay.
If you eat too much red meat, so you need to like find a good balance because your body needs it at the end. That's just how we're brought up, right? I think that's my theory on it, at least. That's just how I see it, because naturally we're just mammals, right? If you go back 3,000, 4,000 years ago, that's all they used to eat. They didn't used to eat plants. Did you find it?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Type 2 diabetes or coronary heart disease.
What did you write in Arabic?
They're right enough. It's just
Oh, I don't think that's it. It's not type 2 diabetes. You don't get type 2 diabetes from
You
eating
don't.
too much meat.
You get it.
You do? Type 2
From
diabetes?
From eating too much meat.
How does that work?
Yeah, fat.
Does type 2 diabetes relate to fat or sugar?
Type 1 is sugar.
What about type 2?
It's more from the meat. Too much fat from the meat.
Ah.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so it is bad for you in a sense.
But you're talking about raw meat, like red meat? Because there's
No,
this
I
carnivore diet. Really
Carnivore is cooked at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Carnivore is cooked. And I've looked at it and I've tried it. It's just, it's decent. It's just not sustainable.
I think that's what Peterson does, right?
Yeah, but he's hardcore with it.
Yeah, really.
Him
yeah.
and his daughter. She's been only on steak for the past 25 years or something like that, and she eats it like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Steak, flat out. It works for them, see? But for me, I tried carnivore. It was okay, it was good, but not sustainable, because my body still needed those sugars, still needed those extra things that I don't get from meat.
So you didn't have energy? How do you know that it's not,
It's
did you
not
know
good?
that it's not good?
I felt shit. I felt like shit. I felt miserable. And
Mentally?
Yes. And I know if I feel like that, then this is probably not the good thing for me. And I tried it. Like, with my energy levels, it's good. It's great. I tried it at a time where I was overweight. Okay?
You were?
I was.
Oh.
Yeah, I was something like 105 maybe, something like really obese. I went all the way to 77, and now I'm back at 95.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you. But I don't think 95 is like fat. Because I lifted heavier at the gym, and so my weight just got up gradually.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm slow. Like, I'm a slow mover. If you see me, whatever I'm doing,
So you're still moving like a.
like a polar bear.
So your body is like, oh, but I'm much lighter. I don't need to move like.
Oh no, no. Like, if you should see me at the gym, taking one dumbbell from a place to another takes me like 3 business days. But yeah, carnivore, the way it worked for me is that whenever I ate, I felt good after. You know when you eat and you feel full and sluggish afterwards?
Yeah.
And lethargic?
Yeah.
That didn't happen anymore.
Okay, so
That's the biggest thing that you can get out of carnivore. The lethargy, is that what they call it? Feeling lethargic is nothing. It's not a thing anymore. Okay? Energy levels were still good. Like, if you eat after a big meal, you don't want to go to the gym. But for me, I could eat a whole steak and be like, all right, now I'm ready to go to the gym, and put a big workout in. Problem was, when you do get to the gym, you're not lifting as heavier as you should or you can.
Oh, really?
Yes. And the reason is because the energy that you get from carbohydrates is not there. The sugar that facilitates into your body that gives you energy is not there.
And body cannot translate just into taking energy from
Meat,
meat.
it's just not possible, because when you get protein, it's not going to give you.
But that's fat wouldn't be there.
You could. So some people, they would put extra fat into the meat they eat. So when they incorporate it into incorporate a carnivore diet into their system, they would put extra meat. So they wouldn't go full lean.
Ketosis or something.
Yes.
It's called that.
Yeah.
That energy is taken
Yes.
from the
From the fat.
fat.
Yeah. So they wouldn't go 100% lean. They would go something like 70, 80% meat, 20, 30% fat.
Okay.
It works. I tried it. It works. Like I would have cuts of fat just on the side. It felt disgusting to eat because you're just eating fat, but it works. When you go to the gym, you feel a little bit more energetic. But it's still not the same as carbohydrates. It's still not the same as fruit. Some people eat fruit, for example. They would advise you, if you're eating carnivore, if you want that energy, try something like blueberries. It's got good sugar, high protein, low carb. It works. It's just not sustainable.
Oh, okay, got it.
So it's good to try, see if it's for you. I know that Jordan Peterson is on it because he's sick. Like he's physically,
Yeah, and
you know.
his daughter.
She had arthritis, the whole thing with her ankle, and it helped her. There's nothing scientific, obviously. Like, it's not proven. But if it works for you, it works for you.
Yep.
It's one of those things. Yeah.
Interesting. So now, what's your diet now?
I just eat what I can handle. Right? I try not to go over. Because, like, I'm not a big... Well, because, like, for us, with Middle Easterns, it's 3 meals a day. Right? You gotta wake up in the morning, have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm not a big dinner guy.
Is it in your culture you eat dinner really, really late?
Yeah, so 7, 8, 9 at times.
Yeah.
Some people eat it at 10.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck they do it.
Yeah.
And they go to sleep like...
And they go to sleep straight
away.
after.
Yeah, and sometimes they drink tea before they go to sleep, which is horrendous. Tea's got caffeine in it. Okay, it's just not sustainable.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I don't have dinner.
So it's more supper than actually
More
dinner.
supper.
Yeah.
So a good split for me would be breakfast, lunch, and then like a meal at 5, maybe 6, like a very
And
small. That's it. I call it a day. The whole 5 meals a day, 6 meals a day. If I'm in my football season, I would do it because that's good for performance. For an average person, it's not. The 5 meal thing is very good for performance.
But we often hear if you want to lose weight, eat 5 meals per day and stuff. I'm personally not the fan of.
It works. It works. Like, I've tried it. I've had a personal trainer. His name still is Jim Nakamura. He's my friend. He gave me a whole system where I got to a point where like I wasn't losing weight anymore, right?
Okay.
I dropped my intake. My intake was something like 2,000 calories per day. And that was like average. I had 2,000 calories per day, and we were on track to lose weight. And I lost 1 kilo, 2 kilos, 3 kilos. Then it got to a point where I'm eating the same amounts, working the same work, but not losing.
So body got used to it.
Body got used to it. So what happened is we bumped the calories. We bumped the intake. Okay?
So more?
More.
Not less?
Not less, more.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes.
interesting.
Because the way it works, I think, is that you bump it up to like 2,300 for like a week, and then you drop it drastically down. And so you drop it below what you used to eat.
And it worked.
It worked. It worked. We got stuck. We got stuck at like 80 kilos. And then we bumped it up to 2,300 for a week. And I was eating like a madman. I was eating like an animal for a week. And then we dropped it to like 1,800. And it worked. Because your body thinks that, okay, now I've got more food in me. It starts like adapting to it, right? And so when you drop it, I think it starts burning faster or something like that. I'm not quite sure.
Wow, I've never heard about that.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
About that because logically I would
Logically,
cut.
That's just not how it works. but you feel good. Like when you eat like that
Oh,
much
I'm
food.
sure that it's like
so
feast.
fucking good. It's so fucking good. I was like getting king treatment that
And
that
I'm
way.
on diet.
And I'm on diet, and I was like, playing football as well. Like even when I used to perform well. But yeah, I guess so it's a different shit for each and every single person. I'm more of a try. I like to try different diets. Haven't tried full vegetarian yet. It scares me. It scares me.
There's your mom.
I like mine. That doesn't
It
scare
scares
me.
your
Yeah, it
mom.
scares my mom. Yeah, because she's got to cook. But like I cook my own shit sometimes.
What does it scare that you feel weak or
What vegetarian?
yeah?
I just like chicken and meat. Like I don't see myself not having a meal. Like it doesn't feel right if it's just vegetables, and
I understand.
like when you eat meat, even when I used to eat carnivore, solely carnivore, right? You get off the table, you feel so macho and energetic. Like I think it messes with your testosterone levels as well, and it definitely went up when I was on carnivore, and so it explains. It could be either bumping the meat that raised my carnivore or lowering the vegetables.
Okay.
So I think that vegetables do have an inhibitor for testosterone at some point. And I've read something about it. So if you do lower your vegetable intake, your testosterone levels do go up. And that's what happened with carnivore. I got up and I pounded my chest after having meal.
Wow.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, full steak. You could even give me another one and I'd eat it.
Felt like a man.
Yeah, and if it makes you feel better, like you want to do shit, you want to do more shit. Like, all right, wash the car, give it to me. We'll do it in 5 minutes, just like that. And even my time management issues gone away because I used to go like quick.
But on the other hand, you said you didn't feel good.
Yeah, I didn't feel good.
Okay.
The energy wasn't there. The energy that I needed to do, going to the gym, that I needed to think, that I needed to work on my projects, just wasn't there. Like I was sitting there and boop, nothing happens.
But how come the time management thing stopped?
Because I
That's really
became
interesting. Because you were faster?
and lighter.
Oh.
Yeah, like 5 times more faster.
So
5 times
washing
more.
face.
Yeah, just like that. No problem with it. Even the whole like how to get out of the fog thing, I stopped feeling foggy in my head. Right? That was a big deal for me.
I stopped feeling foggy in my head food-wise when I haven't had flour and sugar for 2 years. It's just the clarity was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Sugar and
Flour.
Flour as in like the thing you use for
Baking. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I
How
couldn't have
come?
any.
How come flour?
So I got to the food addict organization I mentioned before.
Yeah.
And they said the biggest addiction people have with the food is either from flour or from sugar. And they, as a group collectively, they ask to cut completely flour and sugar. In order also it helped with because there were people with issues with binging issues and stuff. So when you don't have flour and sugar, you stop. Generally speaking, not for everybody, but generally speaking, you stop those cravings and binging
Okay.
on other stuff because you won't binge most likely on carrot, but what people would binge on: bread,
Sugars, maybe
cakes, chocolate.
Yeah, they would.
This type of stuff.
Popcorn.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, popcorn is a bingeable thing.
it's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an issue because when you
And popcorn, also people binge on. Yeah, popcorn itself, but also on crunch. You know that it comforts this feeling, the
Okay.
crunch. So my binge food were rice crackers.
rice crackers, but they're good for you, aren't they?
I don't think they're really good for you if you eat the whole packet.
Oh wait, crackers or cakes? Rice cakes.
No, but I'm talking about the ones the thick ones.
Yeah, the rice cakes.
Yeah, the rice cakes.
Yeah, they're good though. Aren't they?
Maybe they're good if you can have one or two, just
Yeah.
enjoy it, but not if you need to have the whole packet.
Yeah, probably not the whole packet. But even then, if you
And
do,
if your hand won't stop, and
I
you
get
really
you.
wanted to stop,
I get you. I
Yeah.
think if you put something like peanut butter on them, you wouldn't feel the same crunch, and so you wouldn't feel the need to eat another one. 'Cause
That's
it
true. But
becomes...
I wouldn't do it because then I want to feel the crunch. And that's the vicious cycle.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I
I
think
have to stop it.
that reminds me of sunflower seeds. Have you ever had them?
Yeah, but I can just
Eat
have
one.
one few and that's it.
Oh no.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Both of you?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, can you stop on sunflower seeds? Yeah, you can't.
Really?
Yeah.
Unless you
But
feel-
are you also talking about like, could you have it in Iraq? Like in Poland, we could buy the actual sunflower with those seeds inside
No,
when you
Oh.
were. So was there was the
Salted.
whole. So
Oh,
are you
s-
talking about sunflower seeds already peeled?
No.
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 Ah, so you're peeling. Okay,
Yeah.
so this process
Yes,
of peeling
yeah.
and.
But how
okay.
do you peel it?
Just peel it?
How?
How do I peel it?
Like with your hands?
Hands or
Mouth?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but for us, it's like, it's more of you have the
I,
whole...
I see the like eyes like I want my sunflower.
Yeah, it's like you get like the whole thing right here, and you gotta be like doing something, right? It's just like hookah when I told you about shisha, how it's a social thing. It's a social thing. It's not because sunflower seeds. So if we were like talking in this setting, and we were just having like the most casual conversation in a shisha bar or something, it would be hookah, drink, and
And see.
sunflower seeds.
Really?
And just you crack it subconsciously, because like you're talking to me, I'm just like, you know, I put one, put the other one, like within a minute you could eat something up to like 60, and that's like one a second, and you do realize how absurd one a second is. And I've seen people do it. I had my uncle used to watch football back home in Iraq, and he would have like a can of Coke and the sunflower seeds and the TV, and would go through them like two at a time
But they had to peel it.
with his mouth.
Like
Some people do it like really quickly. Some people do it before it gets to their mouth, like with the they would yeah they would shoot it into their
Yeah.
mouth. They run competitions with this.
so you would go from the thick side to the thin side and just
Thick side to the thin. No, so the way the sunflower seeds is built, say it's built
yeah,
like,
like
this,
that.
right?
Yeah, so you go
So if it's built like that, this is how it's laying flat.
yeah.
These sides are most vulnerable, and so you hit it
Ah,
from
you
these.
press it here.
Yeah, you press it so that it pops
I've
up.
never
Oh, it pops wide open, and so you know you'd hold it like this, and from the sides, and you would press it, and it would get out of your.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thott I'm
yeah.
good with yeah, but you guys
Yeah.
are just killing it.
There's sour ones, there's salty ones. I remember Friday I was out on a picnic. Was it Saturday? I was out on a picnic with two of my friends, and I brought like a whole bag. They brought food. I spent the whole time eating sunflower seeds. By the end of the day, my mouth was salty. My mouth was gone. I couldn't feel my mouth anymore.
I've never had salty. It's always without taste. It's just the natural. Never
Oh
had
no,
salty, never.
salt just makes it more addictive,
Mm.
and it. I
Do you,
stopped.
do you buy them here?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But in Arabic shops.
Could be. I think so. Yeah.
I think
Oh.
in Woolies as well.
Woolies might have it. Yeah.
I'll have a look.
Bring us a photo of salty sunflower seeds. Get us a photo.
I'll have a
I'll show
look.
you.
I've never.
I would have brought you some if I knew. Would have brought you a whole bag. But yeah, the reason why I stopped on Saturday is because I felt my pressure going up because of the salt. It didn't feel good.
That's right. Because yeah.
I'm eating salt. I did it for like 5 hours straight, non-stop. Yeah.
So that's the photo of it.
Oh yeah. Then you
Let me see it.
get it.
Yeah, yeah. Like, see if Woolies got some.
Okay.
They must.
You're talking about sunflower.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a different one, but you know.
Yeah.
Do you also like uncrack it and put it in milk and do the whole?
No, generally I would just. But I'm trying to be civilized here.
Oh,
I would just leave it, open it.
oh, lick it, yeah.
Yeah,
Would
and
you?
then eat
I've
it.
never done that.
Really?
Yeah, does it feel good? Because I don't like the taste of the cream.
I don't know. It's just how. I hardly ever have them actually.
Okay, okay.
These ones.
What's your favorite chocolate?
Recently, I started having dark chocolate
Mm.
because then I can leave it.
Mm.
If it's milk chocolate, I can't leave it.
Because it's more sweet.
There's something in milk chocolate that maybe more
Sugar,
sweet
yeah.
or
It hits
or
the
sugar.
dopamine harder.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say so.
yeah. And I started having dark chocolate and at some point beginning to enjoy it. And now I just prefer to have dark chocolate. And then I can leave it. I don't need to eat the whole thing straight
Welcome
away.
to the good side.
Yeah, there you go.
What level are you?
There is this one, a Turkish one, in Woolies, which is the same as the Iraqi.
This is the salty one.
This is the salt one. This is called extra salted.
Oh no,
Extra
I don't
salted.
like extra salted. It's
But you know
it's
what
just
they messed it
horrible.
up? They put it with the flavors. For example, you can get one
Yeah.
with salted caramel.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no, that's just terrible.
Look
Salted
at it.
caramel? No. I'll
But-
pass.
But is it when it's salted, it's just the outside part?
Yes.
Yeah.
But you don't eat the outside part.
You don't, but like when you put it in your mouth, you do like pick up on the salt.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever they call them, you know. You do
Okay.
pick up on it, and it's in your mouth.
Got it.
Some people like they eat the whole thing, which is kind of strange.
Mm.
They could choke on it. Realistically,
Yeah,
some
you
flowers,
could.
some flowers are huge. But yeah, I think with dark chocolate, what level do you eat? Do you eat like 90%, 80% dark chocolate?
In Poland, when I was in Poland, I had 100%.
Jesus.
Mm.
But I said, there is no way I'm not going to have it. But it
Yeah.
was coffee chocolate. And it was very interesting. I liked this one, but it was the only one.
Okay.
Normally, I wouldn't eat 100%,
Okay.
80%, 75.
I've tried 99. That's a close.
But it's just like eat the spoon of cocoa then. For me, it's like
If it's cold, it's good.
it doesn't feel. If it's what?
If it's cold,
Cold.
yes, cold 99%.
So you put it to the freezer.
I do. Not freezer, fridge. You put it out because, like, have you seen those thin slices, the ones that you crack?
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's Lindt. I think Lindt has some 99% dark chocolate.
I didn't like it. I bought it once,
Really?
but I haven't tried.
Because
Maybe I'll try.
yeah,
I'll put it to the fridge.
put it in the fridge. Because
In the
when it's
fridge.
warm and you take it out, it's 99. Warm and bitter just doesn't work. Cold and bitter works. And you gotta like have nothing before it for like an hour at least.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, because then your mouth.
Oh my gosh, I've
needs it.
learned so many new things here.
There you go.
I would just run to Woolies, get,
Well,
Lindt dark chocolate
the 99 is very good. I like 99.
and sunflower seeds.
Yes, sunflower seeds. Two different things. One bitter is one salty. But I did make a promise. I'll go back to that whole.
Yes.
I'll keep. My
I want to
promise.
know about, am I a good shrink or not?
Okay. It's not being a perfectionist 100%. It's being, you're right. I'll give you that. It is being a perfectionist because you do feel like you need to hit each and every single spot. That's the same thing with my dad. If my dad is cleaning the car, Lord have mercy. Right? If my dad is cleaning the car, I'm out. He can have it all by himself because he's never going to be satisfied. With that, I can let go. Yeah, sorry, one spot right here, one spot. Who cares? Okay? The car is white anyway. But when it comes to like, cleaning my face, brushing my teeth, because I know if I don't brush my teeth 100% properly, I'm going to suffer. Right? If I don't clean my face 100%, it's going to like, be dirty one side where it's not going to work. With the car, it's okay. It's okay. Like if the car is not 100% clean, you can never make it clean. But with this, I might as well doing it properly than not doing it, So yes, it is.
So would you prefer not to wash your face at all or not wash it properly?
No. I'd wash my face properly.
Oh, you just wash your face properly.
I'd wash my face properly rather than not doing,
Okay.
a good job at it. So yes, if you want to call me a perfectionist with washing my face,
Sorry, I didn't
I
want to
could
put the
be
label.
a perfectionist with washing my face. I'll take it. I want to ask you about a very interesting thing. Bioresonance.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that? Tell me about it. I read it, and I'm very skeptical about it. Does
like
it
many
work?
people are, and
Does it not work?
as I was,
Okay.
very much so.
You were skeptical
Oh,
about it as well?
absolutely.
Okay.
I'm really strongly on the ground, I think,
Right now?
generally.
Okay. So what is it?
Okay, so we have frequency in the body.
Mm.
You can't really deny it. As in people, we do have on a cellular level, there is frequency in the body.
As in like electric?
I always have problem. Electric or electromagnetic or electric, yes. Okay? Yeah. And on a deep cellular level, and I'm using the explanation my husband gave me, and he's the engineer. Okay? Because we really both of us dive into this topic. Okay? So let's say you have a knee injury. So your knee is sick, if we can call it this way. The frequency in the bone in the here, it's changing. So the machine that I have, it's made in Germany. It's called Bicom. People lay down. They have the mat under the back, and the machine is adjusting the right frequency into the body. So it's like putting in the frequency that the body should have in order to function properly. And then it's your job, your body's job, to pick it up or not. And because sometimes people have some chronic stuff happening, body got used to the way it works. It may take a while, sometimes takes longer, sometimes it takes shorter. The reason why I got hooked into this, it was my daughter had skin issues here in Australia, and bioresonance is very popular in Poland.
Okay.
So people generally know roughly what bioresonance is.
Okay.
And my father was here, and he took her back to Poland, and I asked him to take her to the bioresonance practitioner.
Okay.
And he thinks it's BS, total BS. But because I asked, so he went. And she had like about 3 sessions, and she came back clean. And this is how I got hooked into it and dived deeper. And then my really good friend in Poland opened her own bioresonance clinic. So I was really interested. Every time I was going to Poland, I spent lots of time there, read lots of things, talked to many people, experienced it on myself as well. And that's how it started. And I had this idea that at some point I want to do it here. And when our big sickness season started a few years back, I thought that's the sign. This is the moment where I can actually purchase it and start doing it.
Okay.
And I said, Sebastian, in the worst case scenario, we just have amazing machine at home, and I know how to use it. So I still wasn't sure if I have people coming over or not for it, but I was studying. I got my accreditation here in Australia, done by my trainer was the former nurse, mind you, so coming from medical.
Okay.
So she changed. Then there was an amazing doctor, actual doctor who was doing bioresonance here. Now he retired. So I knew that it's not just thing, that there are medical people who use this equipment. And yeah, I still wouldn't tell you exactly how it works, but I love it.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why I don't love it?
No. Why can't you exactly tell me how it works?
Because I mean, I could tell you how it works. That's how it works.
How?
It's adjusting the putting the right frequency into the body.
But what does that mean? Because like you said, if you have an injury in your knee, your frequency in your knee is
on cellular level.
On a cellular.
On the deep cellular level, not on the skin here.
Okay.
I mean skin, but if we go and measure it in on the cellular level.
But what is that frequency exactly? What is it? Is it biological? Is it electrodes?
Electromagnetic frequency.
Okay. So when you break something in your body or something happens, the frequency is messed up. Is that what happens?
I'm not sure when you break, because then you definitely, I wouldn't tell you if you break your leg, come and see me, and you still need to go to the surgeon.
That'd be a bit absurd, yeah.
Oh, you're like, oh.
We got this machine.
Yeah, I had this machine that can just put you back. It's like medical bed from sci-fi, right? Yeah. It's a bit like, for me, it looks a bit like sci-fi. However, it's been known for years and years. When I started digging, it's actually...
What's the best use for this machine?
So I'm not allowed to use the word healing or anything like that.
Because why?
Because
Doesn't heal, technically.
the Australian TGA is not really allowing
What's this really
that,
TJ?
because would be the organization that is in charge of the medical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you
so
search that
they-
up? What's the
What is it?
Yeah.
Australian TGA?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not allowed to use that?
So that's why I keep saying adjusting frequency. So I can, but people come with all sorts of different issues. Them usually with pain
Okay.
and with addiction, and like cigarettes addiction and stuff. That was quite interesting for me as well. So I had people coming who had bioresonance done on cigarettes a few years back, but they for some reason came back. They started smoking again, and I saw them. And
Because, how would you target something specific like cigarette addiction?
so there are specific programs.
Okay.
In a machine, there are specific programs with the name with the different frequency.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of those?
So there are programs for addiction. There are different programs for pain.
What's the process for addiction?
Sorry?
What would you do? So say, for example, if I came to you with an addiction, how would you apply it?
I would check first, because it's individually check which program your body needs. So basically, it's not me putting anything in your body. You're laying down on the mat, you're connecting to the machine. It's basically, I feel, and then we figure it out that it's your body. Because, okay, two people with the same addiction, because there are different programs for addiction. Two people with the same addiction, and I may use different programs for you, because there could be just the addiction, but it could be blockages in your body, and your body could be blocked generally, and first needs to be unblocked before I am able to put any programs in. So it's very much individual which programs are being used for. So I never know. I wouldn't be able to tell you, if you come, I will use this, this, and that. I don't know what I would use.
What do you mean by blocked? Like blocked in what sense? Blockages?
Blocked energetically. So we have energetic pathways in the body.
Okay.
Okay. So, and let's say sometimes when people have scar or something, the energy is not flowing through the body clearly.
Like a mental scar or
No,
physical?
it could be even physical.
Okay.
Yeah. Or when we get, when you get upset,
Okay.
you get tense, and that's also blocking.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's energy needs to be unblocked in your body in order for the body to fully take something new in. Because if it's like the toilet, if you have things stuck in the toilet, you can put amazing perfumes in, but it won't go through. Sorry for the comparison.
It's a wild one.
Yeah, it's just cut to my mind. No, like pipes.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, let's say pipes in
pipes. Okay.
the wall.
No,
Yeah,
toilets have
sorry
pipes as
for
well.
the toilet. Yeah, but it's very...
No, the way I'm imagining just a human being with like a lot of energy flowing. But do you think that our energy is only controlled by these pathways, or is there something deeper to it?
Energy is everywhere. So energy is not only controlled by the pathways. Energy is controlled by your environment, by things that happening in your life,
Okay.
by you, by your thoughts.
Okay.
That's also controlling. This is all frequency.
Hmm. And how does the process work? What do you put? Say, I don't know, if someone came to you with an issue where he feels or she feels like their energy is blocked, it's not flowing properly, how would you go about it?
Usually people don't know if their energy is blocked.
Then how do they know that this is something that they could try?
Usually they try it as the last resource.
Really? But
Unless they've heard it before. They
Okay.
may like I did,
Mm.
right? So that's, for me, it would be the first thing to do.
But how would you advertise it? Like, how would you
I
go?
don't.
You don't? You don't really?
I mean, advertise in the sense I have my website.
Oh, no. Like, how would you advertise it in, like, the sense of communicating the idea? Not like marketing, advertising. More like, how would you describe it to someone that knows nothing about it?
I'm describing it exactly the same way as I just described to you.
Okay.
That's exactly what I do. Nothing more
Okay.
than that.
So you said you don't want to use the word heal because it's not healing. When is a situation where like you look at someone and you go, oh, you could really use some bio resonance, or you should try it?
Okay. Personally, I use bioresonance on I would use bioresonance on myself, on anything. So I don't go to the doctor. I would use bioresonance on myself.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't go doctor?
Well, if I have a car accident,
You
definitely
yes.
I would.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'm not that crazy. I still go to the dentist.
I haven't been to the dentist in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but would you do something like a flu? Would you like do?
Yeah, that's immune system.
Really? How would it fix a flu, for example?
So there are programs in bioresonance machine to get rid of bacteria, viruses from certain parts of the body
How?
by putting the frequency that bacteria don't like, and then they die.
Okay.
So let's say
Okay.
you have this mat under the back, but then every bacteria has also frequency. So I can go through and check if, let's say, in your tummy, you have certain bacteria, and I'm putting the program that this bacteria doesn't like, and it kills them. Basically, yeah, it kills it because
kills
it's
it.
not their music.
Okay. Have
I'm
you?
not putting music.
No, I'm trying to imagine the whole scenario.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Logically, it makes sense. But practically, when you come to apply it, how accurate is it? Like, does it kill all of the bacteria? You would think so, yeah?
I'm not sure from my experience, but when I talk to other people, quite often the environment that has been created for the let's say not really positive, the negative environment for this bacteria makes it the way that it cannot sustain in this environment and just dies.
But what
And
about
there's less and less of them, and they die.
what about your internals? What about your organs? Doesn't that mean you're putting them under stress as well?
No, because you have right bacteria. I mean, not right bacteria and wrong bacteria. Some bacteria are really bad for your body,
Sure.
and they need to die.
But some bacteria are also good.
But it doesn't kill those bad bacteria because the frequency, it shoots straight into, I'm trying to say it precisely, the frequency shoots straight into the bad bacteria into your tummy. So it doesn't put stress. So it's not like antibiotic that is going to kill
Okay.
your whole flora
Mm.
in your tummy.
So it
I have no idea how the company Regumed created that they were able to pick up, but it's been done for
Specific
years.
type of bacteria.
Specific. That's something that is absolutely that's the part that I would say I wouldn't be able to say.
okay.
I have no idea how they were able to pick up the specific frequency of the specific bacteria.
Well, they would have tested it before, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they had to, because otherwise the business wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
I don't like to play magic,
Mm.
and I wouldn't invest lots of money into my education, into the machine,
Mm.
just to have some fun.
Okay. They're
And-
expensive. They're expensive.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
That a lot of
yeah.
money.
I could have another car, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a big machine?
The machine is not so big, like that big, and then there is a cord from the machine, and there is a mat that people lay down onto. So, and I don't think I would have yes from my husband as well
Why not?
to do something because it was huge time and money investment
Okay.
as well
Okay.
to do it.
But if-
Basically, turn our life a bit upside down.
Mm.
Yeah.
But if it's a big money investment, why don't you advertise it as a business?
I do, but I have just people coming over from the word of mouth. So in that sense, I don't feel I need to advertise it. I'm just talking about this here.
Yeah.
But generally, so I've put information here and there at the start, and now I just have people coming because they tell their friends. So I don't need to
Okay.
really advertise in that sense.
Sounds like one of those things that I need to try before I judge.
So I've noticed that because some people come, I had actually some guys coming and saying, I don't believe in it. And I said, that's not church. You don't need to really believe in it. But if you fully in your whole body feel, that's BS. And definitely it's not going to work on me. It's not.
Really?
It's not. Like what we were talking at the beginning, if you fully believe that Panadol won't work for you, it won't.
Okay.
It's just, so you don't need to believe in it in a sense like, oh yeah, definitely it would help. But as long as it's open-minded, okay, we'll see. I'm curious.
Okay.
That's enough.
I think if you go with the mindset of this isn't gonna work with anything, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Because even if it works, you're gonna find excuses, and you're not gonna be able to admit if it worked or not. But with this, I would probably go with an open mind about it. But at the same time, I don't have full trust in it because on paper it makes sense, right? Like, okay, this is a frequency thing. If you go in for biotics and if you go for bacteria and viruses, it makes sense if you put a frequency that is incompatible with them. It's kind of like throwing science out the window, which I don't really like. Would you say that?
No, why? I actually believe there is
Is it
much of the
scientific?
science in it.
How is it scientific though?
Because my understanding is,
I mean, biological science.
I'm talking about if we have, what do you mean by biological? Would it be frequency also biological science?
No, that would be physical, like physics and whatnot.
Okay.
So biology side. So if you want to like make an argument for this, you would probably have better luck with a physician than a biologist.
Oh, probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we know that the medical field is more leaning towards the biology side.
True.
That's why I wouldn't be surprised if the medical field doesn't back it as well as.
Our medical field doesn't really back it.
Yeah, see.
Because no, and I hope that one day, even there will be enough of science-based research done on that. Because what research are now, it's more, I know what happened to my daughter. People know what happened to them than actual science. That's why I got hooked. And I knew that I'm risking a bit and doing something that it's not really approved totally, but by everybody.
Yeah.
So I decided, first of all, my approach is never to convince anybody about anything. You just need to feel if you want to try it or not. I'm really easy about that. But definitely, with my approach generally to life, I would love to have more proper research done. And I don't really know why they're not done. So what it's the word of mouth. It's people who come and say it helped them, and there are other people coming. And in Poland, it's so popular.
Okay. I'll probably think of one reason why. Say, for example, this does get tested, and it is a reliable method. Even if they had those papers, and I'm not saying that it is. I don't know. I've never tried it. Even if they had these papers, even if they've done the research on this and they approved that it works, I don't think they would publicly admit it, especially the medical field, because the medical field lives off pharmaceuticals. It's a whole business. It's easier to tell someone that you need to get 6 tablets a day of Panadol instead of telling them that you can go and try this machine at your house and it could realistically do the same thing. It's easier for them to prescribe you amoxicillin and probiotics and antibiotics. No, I'm not saying probiotics and antibiotics are bad necessarily. I probably think that they're better than commercial drugs like, for example, paracetamol and oxytocin and whatnot. But it's a whole business.
Yeah.
And so I can see why, even if something like that could work, they wouldn't back it anyway.
No, because pharmaceutical companies, they don't want you to be really healthy.
No.
Just keep giving you drugs, and you could have.
It is literally drugs.
Onion.
Onion
syrup.
Yeah. Like the whole thing when we talked about earlier, the hot toddy drink. I could have had my codeine. I could have had my Nurofen. I could have had my Panadol. I just didn't. I drank my drink and I shut up. And for me, it worked. Was it that or was it my immune system? I don't know. Could have been either. Could have been both.
Yeah.
But I knew that I didn't take medications. And I knew that I felt better without the medications. So do I really need the medications? And like, I'm not a doctor or anything, so my advice may not work for everyone, but it's just my advice. So do I really need the medications that the doctor prescribed for me, telling me that I need? Probably not. Okay? So I could see why something like that could get disapproved. But at the same time, it's a big question mark on it because it is controversial. It is out there. You know what I mean? It's not something like in Poland. You say that they've been using it for a long time.
Yeah.
Right here, I don't think so. I've never seen a lot of people do that. But if it works in Poland for that many years, and if something that's popular, clearly they've figured something out. They wouldn't just use it for no reason.
Oh.
Otherwise, the whole country would be, either really suffering or full of scam artists for the past 25 years.
My really good friend in Poland, she has 4 machines.
Okay.
And just people come in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah. So something is happening.
As a scam, people coming from different backgrounds, not knowing each other.
Yeah.
She can scam people for a year.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
But not for so many, and not she wouldn't have new people coming in.
Would you put something like that on the head? Like, would you try to heal something that's in the head?
In the head, you mean like in the head in the sense of headache? Yes.
Okay.
But if we're talking about deeper stuff, not sure.
Deeper stuff in
Like
what?
you mean like brain injury or
No,
something like that?
no. I wouldn't say. Well, actually, why not? Yeah. Could you?
I don't know.
'Cause
I've never had the situation like that.
the brain is like the most
Yeah.
electrifying or electrified organ in your body, isn't it? It's got a lot of neurons and electrodes going through it. So something like that could deep fry it if it goes wrong, couldn't it?
Well, it doesn't fry. It goes like I used it on myself when I had headaches. I
Okay.
did use it on myself.
Okay.
Yeah. And
How deep does it go? How long can you send the frequency?
my understanding is that when I have it goes on the surface,
Hmm.
and that's why they want you to drink. They want you to drink lots of water for the frequency to start moving into your body.
Before or after?
Before and
Okay.
also after.
Okay.
It's quite important to drink water.
Because it makes the frequency move
Yeah.
smoother.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's like you. So it's not going through like through your whole body.
Yeah.
It's just giving the how to call it. Like you fertilize, right?
Yeah.
You the
It essentially works like a car, doesn't it? Like,
Yep.
It moves it around.
yeah, and then you need the frequency to
Okay.
move through. So it's not.
It's like a mobilizer.
So it's not. Yeah. So it's not straight away like. Bang.
Yeah.
It can take even like a week and stuff, and it just keeps moving.
So is the water like a catalyst to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, very important to drink water. So it doesn't go on it stays on kind of we can say on the surface,
Mm.
and then it starts moving into in the body, and then it's your body's work basically to pick it up or not, and sometimes it may take a while to pick it up.
How long?
Depends how long was the issue very often.
Really?
So I like having kids.
Okay. You've got to.
No, I mean when
No.
kids come.
Okay.
In that sense.
Yes.
Because then I can see, or I can't say that it works 100% on everybody.
Okay.
Okay. But quite often when I have kids, I see they pick up quite quickly. And on kids, it's great because they just come. Parents told me to sit here on the mat. They don't really, and then parents report if things are better or not with them. And this is great indication.
How would the parents know though?
Oh, the parent, like I know on my daughter, right? Parents know if the kids are.
How little are the kids? Like 5, 6?
The youngest kids I had was 5.
Okay.
I don't think I would put the baby unless the mother would sit with, I don't know, would sit with the baby. I wouldn't put the baby on either.
It's a bit risky.
No, but also it's very important how practitioner feels. You know? So I always follow my intuition, my gut, when I feel if I could or I couldn't. Well, nobody ever asked me to do anything with the baby, so I didn't have to do it. But I know that practitioners, they do it with babies.
They do? Okay.
And they do it with dogs very often.
Dogs? What does it do to the dog?
Oh, dogs, they have all sorts of different issues.
I know that, but how would you know what issue do they have? Because they can't really tell you.
Well, the owner, they usually know what the problem is
Okay.
with the dog. So again, the machine can check, are there any bacteria? Are there any intolerances, for instance, with the dog? My friend does it on the dog. I had dog one time. I had a dog.
Okay.
It was really... But those people, they used bioresonance on dog before, and they basically told me, we'll come with the dog.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, we'll see.
Well,
So
it's interesting.
it's quite, like you said, unknown,
Yes.
area. Whenever I say bioresonance, people go like, bio what?
Yeah.
Every single time. I could go easier way to do like even to do maybe acupuncture. At least people know what's that.
Okay. Is it acupuncture? Is it acupuncture?
No. But I say I moved to the area which is totally like lots of people
Yeah.
like you like.
Yeah.
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 And knowing myself how fully on the ground I stand, it's. But I tested it on my daughter. I love it, and I say in the worst case scenario, we just have amazing machine at home that
Yes.
we use on ourselves. So that's
Yes.
that's the thing.
Or a
I'm quite
daughter.
chilled about bioresonance thing.
I'll give it a try one day. We'll see. Right now, I'm not fully convinced,
Be like,
but we'll see.
Dong!
Yeah, I'll come to you. I'll text you one day. You do it at home?
I do it from home.
Okay. Are they expensive? The sessions?
Depends how you look at it. So it's usually 1 hour session, or the first session is a bit longer, and it's the first session is 120, and other sessions are $100.
Okay. Do you need more than one session?
Depends what the issue is.
Okay, say for example, something biological, like a flu. Because you can argue that a flu goes within a week. And so if you can kill a flu
Within the week?
within a day or two, I'm buying into it.
I can't tell because that's a really individual thing.
Okay.
So I would never say, I give you guarantee, like for the car,
Yeah.
that this car is going to.
Okay.
Yeah. It's human. We are all human and we are all different. And so I will never say 100% I'm going to do this.
No, but I'm a slow healer. So if I get sick pretty bad because my immune system sucks ass. It's terrible, right? I might as well not have an immune system.
So it would be good to actually have a look when you're not sick, what's up with the immune system.
How do you mean? Does it test that?
Because if you did you say that you get sick often?
Yeah.
So
Pretty
it
easy.
means that there is something wrong generally with the immune system.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily wait until I'm sick.
But I get sick like at least once a month.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. I get sick pretty easy. And if I get sick, I get sick for like a week. And so if someone like that could remove a flu for within a day or two, there's something happening there.
But you're looking at, now I have a problem I want to fix this 1 week when I'm sick. But I would look more as a whole picture why your immune system is so weak and you're
I've got a
getting sick once
deficiency.
a month.
I've got a deficiency,
So this is what you need to work on your deficiencies.
but I can't. I got G6PD. G6PD is untreatable from birth.
Ah.
Yes, that's why my immune system is pretty terrible.
Ah, okay,
Yes.
I got it.
It's just like that.
Okay.
And so it's more vulnerable. It's gone a little bit softer when I grew up, obviously, but when I was young, a flu could have killed me at
So
some
that's
point.
a difficult case then.
Yeah. You think so? So probably more than 120. But yeah, why not? I mean, I'm very open-minded about these kind of things. But I wanted to ask one more thing, actually. You said that this book in your head is more towards women. In your head, at least, in your opinion.
Yeah, it was at the beginning of our conversation.
It was at the beginning of the conversation. Did you change your mind about it now?
But you haven't answered my question yet.
Which one? I thought I answered everything.
Did you feel? I mean, I haven't even asked this question really. We just touched the topic of self-care and self-love.
Okay. Yeah.
How did you, as a man, of course, every man is different as well,
Sure.
but generally, how did you find this book and this type of approach to self-discipline?
What do you mean?
Because like I told you at the beginning, my idea was that the guy just need to go, do, and that's it. You don't need like, take the break, be grateful, write the journal,
Okay.
have intention. That it's a bit softer
Yes,
approach. Is it?
it is.
Did you feel it like it's a bit softer?
It is. I'll
approach?
tell you what.
And be honest, please.
You use a lot of for example. Okay.
The word, for example.
The term, yes. Also,
the term.
Yeah, the term. But also, like, you give a lot of examples, right? In the book. For me personally, I would relate more to a philosophical breakdown instead of an example.
Okay.
A more personal thing. A more because like examples, they're personal, right? But you're talking about, I would think, your experience, yeah. When you give an example, I would probably prefer, for me personally, if someone was talking to me about self-discipline, self improvement, a more philosophical, deeper explanation. And so instead of someone telling me how I could solve it, I would rather why it's happening. Because then, if I know why it's happening, which is almost universal, I would say, it's always the same reasons at core. It could not be the exact same reason, from the outside, but at core, the emotion is the same. And so if I get, I'm a logical kind of guy. So if you explain to me logically what has happened, where did I fuck up, I go, oh, okay, I see it. I rewind the whole thing in my head, and now the examples just come flooding through my head, when I could have done something like that. And then I start coming out with conclusions on how I could fix it. But that's just me. Some people, they can't. Some people do need examples on how do you do this, how do you do that, how do you do this. But for me, maybe because I'm a guy, maybe girls are different, right? Girls maybe do need more guidance. Maybe they do need something more, well, not physical, but more practical. Do you think that? Do you think girls need more practical?
I'm not sure if the girls need more practical. Definitely, that's my approach. Very practical.
What have you noticed with your girls?
Hmm?
What have you noticed with your girls?
My girls? I would say Nadia is quite practical.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's... My approach to this book was practical. I didn't want to dive too deep.
Yeah.
And I also, at the beginning, I wrote, that's nothing new. But maybe from a bit of different angle, different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the book I would like to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
But I understand. I like what you said.
Yes. But that's with me. Like, if someone doesn't like reading a lot of deep things, or how do I put it? If someone doesn't like someone that dives deep on each and every single topic and really peel it off to the core, this person is not me. So with me, I like someone who can dwell on something for hours, as long as you can get to the whole core of something.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
But I know, for example, my mom, she's a light reader. My mom likes reading light. So she would prefer something that's just touching the base, touching the core idea, moving on. Touching the base, touching the core idea, moving on. So it's different type of readers. What about you? Like deep in read?
Sometimes, not always.
Sometimes?
Depends on the story and on the book.
Okay, so you don't mind writing lightly? Light reads?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? So it's different people.
Yeah. And I thought, I like to come back to this book sometimes, to be honest, just to set as a reminder of some things, if I've forgotten.
Because I was very surprised when this book was 33 chapters, but it didn't have like a lot of pages. Because when you think 33 chapters, you think the book is like this thick. And I know when you said in Polish it would be this thick, I was like, okay, makes sense. Okay?
Yeah. But here you could more...
But also it's a good thing, because like when I was reading, you 2-3 pages and you're on to the next chapter. 4 pages, you don't like really dwell in chapters, which is good because I sometimes read some books and they dwell on one chapter and it's not good dwelling. It's like bad dwelling for like 10 pages.
And just go to the point. Go to the point.
I
go to the
beg
point.
Philip K. Dick, if he was still alive, man, I'm still stuck on one chapter because this guy's just dwelling on the same thing. But yeah, it's different styles, different readings, different writing. While we're at it, could you open that little pocket bag on top right there? The one, yeah. There's a marker. Yeah. Thank you. I need my book signed.
Oh,
Yeah, I've never had a book signed before.
really?
Yeah, never.
Oh,
Would you sign it for me, please?
I would love to.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not a big type of person that grabs a book and goes wherever the author is at. I've never had that opportunity. All my authors are dead. No. Boss author, sorry.
Yeah. I really enjoy my life.
No, I mean I
Does
read
it have
like
anything to do with it?
I read a lot of old shit. That's why.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
that's what I meant. And yet again, you know.
Should I sign?
Please do, please do. I mean, I read Jordan Peterson. He's still alive, but he's all the way in Canada, so. It's
Okay,
kinda...
so your power it's not reaching him.
No.
But
no.
I'm in Melbourne.
Yeah, see, I like to, you know.
I'm writing quite a lot.
Oh, you go ahead. You're all right after all. So. She is writing a lot, actually.
Oh, yeah, I told you. Will be the end.
she filled the whole page.
Of course.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're
I
very welcome.
appreciate it. Now I've got my first signed book from an alive author.
Yeah, I'll let you know
No.
tomorrow how I go. Like,
No,
I don't feel well.
you still gotta go to the MCG, man. You wouldn't forget about it, right?
About
The
MCG,
MCG,
yeah.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
they're running the finals now anyway, so the tickets are expensive.
And I just want to do the TEDx final and
The
then
TEDx, yeah, probably after the TEDx, so probably next
Yeah.
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you do want to do it before the TEDx.
TEDx is
sure.
on the finals are on the 8th of October.
8th of October.
It's the final.
Do you
So-
go there and like present or?
So I go there and present, and then they choose who is going to present on the actual TEDx.
Okay, where do they do the actual TEDx?
Mornington. So both finals and actual TEDx will be in Mornington.
Okay. Do you know who else is nominated?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I won't give you the names because I can't remember, but they are all on Instagram.
It doesn't matter. You're winning anyway. But it should be
It's
good.
not it's not the secret.
Right.
Yeah, but quite a few people.
Yeah? Okay. You excited?
I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
I've never done it before.
TEDx?
TEDx, English is my second language. I have
Okay.
all sorts of thoughts,
Okay.
but I sign in and I'll still do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, regardless of fear.
Mm.
I'll still do it, and that's what I'm happy because maybe a few years back, I would. First of all, I wouldn't apply. Second of all, if I'm so scared, probably I wouldn't do it.
Mm.
But now I just do it and see what happens.
Would you prepare something or would you go
Of course, yeah.
Really?
So I need to have the whole
script?
script, but I won't see the script. I need to memorize
Memorize
it. The actual TEDx, I think it's about 16 minutes. This one is about 8.
Mm.
Really short because that's final, but I need to have pretty much everything prepared, and
8 is a good time.
I think so.
Yeah, you've managed to talk for 3 hours
But
almost.
it's a bit different, you know. We were just touching different topics. I didn't have to hook you on my topic.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, and plus,
Mm.
I know that there will be other people watching it, but here is really intimate.
Intimate,
It's just it's just us. It's not people.
Yeah, well,
I don't see people watching.
They're listening.
Yeah, they.
I know they're listening. Like if I look at the camera right now, someone's looking at their home. Like, oh,
Is it live?
This one?
Yeah.
No, not this one. Not this one. But like if someone is watching YouTube, like if they're watching at home right now, if they're listening on their phone, they're basically a part of this room. That's how I feel about it, at least. Whenever I'm talking to someone, it's not just me or Mitch listening to it. It's like 80, 60 other people, 100 people listening to it.
So that would probably, at least that's how it worked on previous podcasts. If I think like this, I would get a bit
Anxious?
nervous and anxious.
Mm.
I might.
But also depends on the host.
The way you do it, it's really chilled and relaxed. I like it.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
having conversation with a friend.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
really
essentially
cool.
what the podcast name means. It's an Arabic word for conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's just like, just talk.
and these
Really.
days they have such a long podcast, and that's I really like the way you did it. It's not just question answer. Question.
No.
It's
That's just boring.
Yeah.
It's plain.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's why I really hope, and I'm not even hope, I'm sure that this podcast will be successful.
Thank you.
Because I started watching it, and then I started watching it because I want to be prepared
Yeah.
and also respectful, and to show that I know who I'm going to talk to.
Sure.
But I really wanted to watch more, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the difference. Not just, okay, I want to be ready, but I had fun watching
Yeah.
the clips.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the thing is, it's the same thing with the book. Like, when I wanted to like have you over, I had to read the book, and then when I started reading chapter 1, chapter 2, I was like, this is interesting. I'll keep reading. Like I got what I needed, but then again, you keep reading because you enjoyed it, and that just makes the conversation far more interesting because you're more interested in the person. Like I wouldn't want to talk to someone that I'm just not interested in, because how long could you talk for? 40 minutes until you're just bored out of it, right? Like we've been talking for 3 hours.
Is it really?
Yes. Yeah, 2 hours, 53 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. You remember what you sent me on the
Yes,
message?
yeah. I don't think I will be able, because I just
Yes.
couldn't really, even with friends and the gatherings, I like 1 hour and a half, and
You're out.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So that's
you made it.
oh, that's even better. So coming back to the, have I changed my mind? I think I did, and I really would like to, because I think I mentally closed myself, and I thought guys won't like it. So that's my internal blockage, if we can call it this way, because nobody told me it's going to be for women.
Okay.
I had one guy reading it, and he liked it. My husband read it roughly
Okay.
while editing, and he liked it, but I realized here I've put this idea into my head that women would like it more.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Like even with this podcast, you don't know who your audience is until you release it. We had an audience in head before we released, and after that, it grew and it became more different. And some people who we thought wouldn't listen to it started actually listening to it. Like we thought this whole podcast is gonna be like male dominated or something like that, but it's not. We've got a good balance, which is surprising, and it's good. It's good. Like whoever listens, and we're grateful about it. Same thing for the book, I believe. Whoever reads, and you're grateful.
And
as long as you're putting out your thoughts in your heart and who you truly, what you truly think.
But I shouldn't put, close boards around it in my head.
No.
That it's just
No.
because that's I created it.
Yeah.
I realized that was nobody told me.
Yeah.
Really, nobody told me this book is for women.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful, actually, to see that it's not.
Yeah. No, it's not. I'm here to tell
The
you.
guys are also in the fog, and the guys also need self-care. That they have their moments. They want to feel many might want to feel and feel grateful for many things, and so I'm really grateful for changing my own perspective on that.
Well, guys suffer a lot.
They do.
They do
I
suffer a
really
lot.
do believe that they do.
They
But
do.
I had situation in my life where really close friend and if you show me all the men I know and ask me to pinpoint one person that I would say would never commit suicide, I would point this guy. And he committed suicide. It was such a shock for me to realize how much men suffer. They often don't talk.
Yes.
Some
Men suffer in silence.
Yeah.
They suffer in silence.
Yeah, and then you think they don't suffer. But
yeah.
that's not true.
Yeah, no. They suffer in silence. They don't talk about it because of maybe society telling them not to talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe them telling themselves not to talk about it, and they just sleep on it, and it builds up, and it becomes bigger and bigger, and one day they just explode out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And all they could have needed was to maybe let it out a little bit. And it's terrible. It's horrible. You could lose a person just because he didn't let out a little bit of emotion. And it's sad because they could have been taught that way by their parents or by society or whatever. It's terrible.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
my husband loves bike rides and he
Yeah.
rides with his buddies on Sunday, and I'm always so happy because I know that they will. He said I do it for my mental health.
Yes.
And it's just so we could just chat, and sometimes we don't talk much, but they are
No,
together.
you're doing
It really opened my eyes, and also this podcast really opened my eyes as well.
I'm thankful for you for coming here. I would ask you one more thing. If you could talk to your old self and you would send one message, what would it be? And I wish if you could look at the camera and say it. Just imagine she's watching right now. What would you tell her?
To how younger self?
A different version of you. Someone who's not you today. Could be from 2 years ago, could be from 10 years ago. Someone that you really think needed you today.
So I would say, Tatiana, relax. Everything will be fine. Don't take everything so seriously. That would be the most important thing, I would say.
Okay. Should tell her you love her?
And I love you. And if you are really young, 10 years old, I want to tell you that guys eventually will get taller. Some guys will be taller than you. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Because it was my big problem. You know, I'm very tall.
You are.
Yeah.
You are. For people watching, when this woman walked in, I had to look up. But she was
But in
very tall.
Poland, I'm not that tall.
Yeah, Polish people are tall.
Yeah. So when I was in Poland, I feel tall here. I don't feel that tall when I'm in Poland.
Really?
No.
Australians are tall too. On average.
Yeah, but for some reason, I just feel taller here. I don't know. Maybe
You feel taller here?
Yeah.
Got a nick for basketball?
My daughter is.
Yes.
But yours, then I'll be visible on the stage then.
Does she play professional or just for fun? Does she play professional or just for fun?
She's 11, so she just started. But
Okay.
they like, I'm tall, but I'm not fast. But she's tall and she's really fast. So I think there's maybe one day you will hear about Kaya Slezak.
Maybe women NBA career.
Yeah, who
I'll
knows?
full
Who knows?
support.
She's really fast.
What about the one? She tall as well? Nadia?
Nadia is not that tall, but she's more. She's into sport, but she's more intellectual.
Oh, she's more into
Engineering type of thing, type of girl. Totally.
Can't get a contract out of both of them.
No.
Well, I think this is a good time for us to wrap it up. Thank you very much, Tatiana, for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for Aksan. Thank you for Spectrum for providing the space. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Hold it right there. Are you trying to turn off the camera? This guy's trying to turn off the camera while I'm talking. Have some shame, man. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. And did I forget anything?
Thank you. Can I say thank you?
Yeah, you can say thank you. Of course you
I
can.
want to say thank you to everybody for listening, and I want to say thank you, Fedele, for organizing this amazing space and making me to feel so comfortable and welcomed here. And I think what you do is amazing. That's very important for people to hear stories.
Mm.
They are empowering, and you can always take something from other people conversation, and that's really amazing what you do.
100%. This is the reason why I started the whole thing.
Yeah.
If I can enjoy it.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Tatiana, and goodbye.